Okay, hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Web Sputters podcast. My name is Nathan Thomas and I am joined by my lovely co host Leon. Every time I do this, I think that we need like a theme song.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be, what that look like,
Yeah, if
because
we
we
have
need
any,
something.
if we have any musical listeners, please contact us via Instagram, web underscore sputters, to see if uh, if you send us something, we'll use it. We're starved for content, so yeah. So
Stars in general.
yeah, someone's fasting.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have any musical talent, please send us in something, and we will genuinely use it in the pod. Yeah, it's been another fun week. How you been doing, man?
I've been doing good. Yeah, no. The stuff we've been watching has been real good.
Oh,
And I'm excited to talk about that.
uh-huh. Invincible has been incredible. Daredevil Born Again. Um, yeah, just those two things.
Just those two things, but man, they do enough.
Yeah, for
They
real.
do enough.
Uh,
Yeah.
this week's episode, we will be talking about the Daredevil episode 3 and the two new episodes of, well, the finale or an Invincible War. And if we have time, we'll get around to Marvel's Phase 5.
Let's
Uh,
see. Let's see how this pans out.
yeah, just a heads up at the start. We recently brought some new podcasting equipment, so I hope that this sounds better than how we've been sounding before. Um, Leon, you got any news for us?
Okay, so we got a couple trailers, and we got some casting rumors floating around. Let's go with the casting first. Apparently, Sadie Sink is going to be has been cast for Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, so
Tom
sorted.
Holland's Spider-Man 4.
See, you say
So
and four, my mind automatically jumps to Toby Maguire's
yeah, so
Man 4.
let's call it Spider-Man Home something instead. Let's have it Home 4.
Spider-Man
Um,
No Home. No one knows.
exactly, Spider-Man Homeless. In Spider-Man Homeless,
Mhm.
Sadie Sink might be in there. Now,
For
who could
those
she be playing?
who don't know, she plays Max from Stranger Things.
Yes,
Yeah, she looks like how MJ probably looks.
yeah, but of course we already have an MJ.
We have
Um,
a Michelle Jones.
yeah, well, Michelle Jones Watson. So, unless we reveal her as a secret half sister called Mary Jane Watson or whatever, I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
But can we get a dyed blonde Sadie Sink and she's Gwen Stacy? Just like how we got Emma Stone dyed blonde. Or maybe I've seen people suggest Firestar. And
Who is
perhaps
Firestar exactly?
Firestar is this chick with fire powers. But
Uh-huh.
her connection to Spider-Man is most known in the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon,
Oh, okay.
where it's Spider-Man, Firestar, and Iceman as a trio. So perhaps Iceman is also missing. If she is Firestar, then maybe we'll see Iceman, and we'll get that team up brought to the live action screen for the first time ever. Um, which might actually be pretty cool. Although I was kind of hoping this would be a solo Spider-Man movie. The only team up I would have been okay with is Daredevil. Um, I mean Black Cat, yeah, but she's a very Spider-Man exclusive character for the most part.
Yeah.
But um, I if Daredevil's in it, then I'd be like, yeah, I'm all for it. At the same time, I wouldn't mind keeping him away as well until like the fifth one. I really want this to be just Peter on his own to
Wait.
really sell that isolation he's got right now.
Yeah. A couple months ago, I did see rumors for Sadie Sink being casted as Jean Grey. Uh,
Mm,
do you think that there's a chance that she could be an X-Men character in this movie?
100%.
Yeah.
This could be, I mean, actually, it'd be, depending on what comes out before this movie, because I think it'd be pretty big and to like reveal the X-Men in this movie.
Yeah.
But if we've got them revealed by the time this movie comes out, I can see Jean Grey and maybe some other, maybe not alone, but it's just we only know about her so far. but maybe Jean Grey and a couple others try to come in and like maybe recruit Spider-Man or something, or he just helps him out, or they help him
Yeah,
out.
that episode of the '90s animated Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, where Spider-Man meets the X-Men and he just beats them up.
Yeah, and he just comes in like, I don't want to be like you guys, you gross mutants. So like, yeah.
Oh
We're
damn,
not too different. And then yeah,
we're the same.
yeah. Um, or like maybe even you can get like the public thinking Spider-Man's a mutant because why wouldn't you think that? And then they're like, oh, this
Spider.
Spider-Man guy's a
Yeah.
fucking mutant. Get this guy out of the streets, man. So and then the X-Men are there for whatever reason as well. I don't know.
Do we know
But
anything about the villain for this movie as well?
sorry.
Do we know anything about the villain for Spider?
Currently, we have no idea because it was rumored a while ago that Sony and Disney, or Sony and Marvel, sorry, are still at conflict on what kind of film it should be and
Yeah,
what the stakes should be. Is this going to be multiversal or is it going to be street level? Is it going to be Kingpin, Scorpion type of thing, or is it going to be fucking, I don't know, like multiversal Kingpin or Scorpion type of thing?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I do really just hope it. Like we just got Friendly Neighbor Spider-Man, and Scorpion was the villain, and he did great. And you didn't need. I mean, we did have like this. We had a time travel thing, and
There's an element of like multiversal madness,
yeah,
but
with Doctor Strange in it. But like,
yeah,
we are at a point now where we are allowed to strip back everything again for this Spider-Man. We should take advantage of that before we need to amp it up again,
that
which
was
will
the
happen.
problem with this iteration of Spider-Man, is that he has too much going on. So yeah, I would be down to just have a normal Spider-Man story where he does nice things for people.
Yeah, I don't see why we can't have that now. Before because obviously we've got Doomsday and sequels coming up. We're gonna have crazy things happening. We might as well take advantage of this little window we've got right now,
Yeah.
whilst we still have it. You know?
That I've told you, probably put it on the pod, is that I really like Spider-Man's use in the Lego Marvel superheroes game.
Yeah,
How he just pretty much just randomly shows up to any crime. It doesn't matter whose villain it is, and like he just swings in, helps out, and then goes and does his homework or something.
yeah,
Maybe we'll see like that take place in this new movie. Like maybe the Fantastic Four will be about at this point, and he just swings in because there's danger and he needs to help out.
yeah. And then the X-Men are dealing with a Sentinel or something. His family just comes in and helps out,
And that's the Sadie Sink character. So
and we go on back and forth. He's just like jumping around. Like this would be early on in the film,
yeah,
and everyone's like going like, "Yo, Spider-Man. We could team up more often." He's like, no, I work alone. I'm just here because people need help. And then by the end of the film, he really regrets that. He's like, damn, I'm all alone fighting whoever I'm fighting
and
today,
the
and no one's coming to help me. Um, and yeah, because he pushes everyone away because, of course, he doesn't want the same kind of thing to happen again where he gets attached to people and then he has to lose them, whether be memory wipe or traumatic event or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea that like Spider-Man is the only thing he's got left at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, I something that I did think about recently is that the reasons why I'm not fully convinced by Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland's version of the character is that Peter Parker doesn't really exist in their roles. Andrew Garfield, especially in TASM 2, Peter has nothing going for him, like at all. Um, he just likes his girlfriend. And Tom Holland's Peter and Spider-Man are so there's no duality there, you know. Um, Whereas with Tobey Maguire's version of the character, it's very much Spider-Man is negatively affecting Peter Parker's life.
Mm.
I think that's my main. I think I now have settled. That's my main problem so far. Um, so maybe I would like some Peter Parker development. Now that he has been, no one knows who he is. We could go in any direction, really.
Yeah. Because I see what you mean about the Andrew Garfield thing. Because yeah, I mean the first one he's got his high
Yeah,
school
he's
and
got
everything,
school,
and
but in
he's
TASM 2,
got stakes. But yeah, then
and he does nothing.
he just lives his day to day life doing shit. Or
Exactly.
Aunt May probably thinks he's just a fucking slob.
He's a
Like
bum.
he's just some bum who lives in her house. Like, yeah, he sells pictures of J. Jonah Jameson, but we barely cover that in that
See
film.
him. Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Peter Parker in the MCU doesn't really exist as a character. In Civil
to be honest, I
War,
would disagree on that.
in Civil War and Homecoming, he's got stuff.
Yeah, no. I think you just don't remember his films well enough. Homecoming is a really good job of the whole Spider-Man Peter Parker thing and how Spider-Man makes him miss out on things like the party at Liz's house, and also he has to
This
abandon
is
the um yeah Liz oh no Liz is house um and the what's it called the decathlon thingy thingamabob
oh yeah, that's
uh, and and there's a whole thing and everyone's like, where have you been, Peter? You keep ditching us, whatever. And he's like, yeah, well,
oh,
you
he
know.
actually misses
And
Homecoming. To
the
be
Homecoming as well. Yeah, no, yeah, that film does an amazing job of that. Then with Far From Home, whilst
far,
there's less
yeah.
consequence for it, there is a constant thing of he has to keep ditching this trip, and everyone's wondering, where is this guy going? And then there's Brad up in his business. He's like, yo, I think this guy is doing some shady shit, and everyone's like, Brad, shut the fuck up. Um, and then, there is that constant thing there. I just think you don't remember those films as much as you remember Tobey Maguire's because you watched those a bit more often.
A little bit.
Yeah, but I do see your point about the TASM 2 one. So yeah,
Yeah.
although I can see that kind of same mistake happening here because now he has so much less going for him in his day
Yeah.
to
I
day
hope
life.
they
He
don't
does have
get
school
Peter.
of some kind. We see he's doing his GED or whatever the hell. I don't know.
GDA.
That's it. I don't know how Americans do that shit. But yeah, he's gonna be in class and shit that he will need to show up for. So he'll probably be missing some lessons because of Spider-Man shit, and it's gonna fuck him over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen some. I just saw a video by High Top Films who
Oh
made
yeah.
a
I know.
great point about how because we of course are a little bit cornered in a sense from No Way Home that now you can't really do Doc Ock and you can't really do Green Goblin and so on because at least you can't do it with the surprise element that you can before. You
Yeah.
can't do that whole Norman Osborn's mentoring me. Oh my god, he's the Green Goblin, because this Peter would know that he's like, wait, you're Norman Osborn? I'm not trusting you from the jump, you know. But
Goes out, mate, again.
oh no, shocker, But what he suggested was, whilst we don't see Norman Weather, we do meet Harry Osborn and we meet Gwen Stacy, and these are names that Peter knows because of what Harry, the last name's Osborn. He's not Norman, but yeah, his roommate just
Gwen.
happens to be Harry Osborn, and now he doesn't trust him automatically because of the name Osborn. But he wants a friend or whatever. He's got this loneliness, and Peter just out of his good nature wants to help him. But does he? Is he on my side or whatever? Like there's gonna be this kind of like paranoia thing. Gwen Stacy, she's a girl who likes Peter.
But
She's
she's
all.
always tripping.
It's like keep catching her, and then
She's always on
doesn't
it.
want to. But she's only tripping when he's around. So at the same time, can he be good for her? No. But yeah, like he keeps brushing her away, whatever. She's like, "Hi, Peter, how you doing?" Like, "No, I'm good." And he just walks off,
Fuck
because
off.
he doesn't want that to happen because he knows the name Gwen will bring him nothing but pain.
Gwen, leave me alone.
Fuck off, bitch. Go jump off a cliff or something. No, wait, please don't. You know.
Gwen.
But yeah, like that'd be a really interesting thing to have, and it would be a nice way to keep the No Way Home events relevant and involved in a
Yeah.
way other than him just going, this is like that time when I teamed up with myself,
Yeah.
which would be a bit stupid. But yeah,
I do
I
think
think that'd be really
that
cool.
Spider-Man has like a crazy roster of characters who we don't really see all that much.
Hmm.
I'd be happy to see anyone else, to be honest. Like even
Yeah,
Spectacular Spider-Man had he had all the girls, Yeah, there was so
everyone's
many
in there.
in that. Yeah, you know what? I would really want to see a Black Cat, for no reason. Uh,
We've never gotten live action Black Cat. And that's
no, and
crazy
I
to me.
think that Peter
Other
could.
than what's that, Felicity
Yeah.
Jones in the Tarzan movies,
Oh yeah.
but that doesn't count because she didn't become Black Cat in it. So
If Peter's in a darker point in his life, I think the influence of Black Cat could be quite interesting
yeah,
for this character. Um, Especially if you give him like a black suit or something.
yeah.
it'll be why not?
Which I mean, I always thought was bound to happen, but then Venom 3 was like, no, that symbiote is actually I haven't watched the
I
movie
haven't seen
to
Venom.
this day, but I know the trailer has them capture the little symbiote that was uh,
Oh,
left behind in the MCU. But it's a character who's in the Venom movie. I don't know how they played that off. I need to watch that to find out what the fuck
okay.
happened there. Because
Once we
now,
spun, we'll get around to it.
yeah, because now I have no idea. Do we have a piece of Venom in the MCU anymore or not? I don't. I can't tell you. So yeah,
Maybe
we're gonna have
Spider
to
Man
watch that and find out.
again.
Who knows?
Yeah,
But yeah, so that's. I mean, that conversation just came from Sadie Sink. But yeah,
that was 15 minutes.
whoever she ends up playing, she's gonna do a great job. Sadie Sink's an amazing actress from
I like her. I've only
Stranger
seen her in
Things.
Stranger Things. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
I've seen her in anything else, but she seems fun.
yeah, and she's in The Whale as well, and that has great
Oh
reviews.
yeah,
I've been meaning to watch that. Was on my list.
that's
But yeah,
that guy. I love that guy.
what Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, from The Mummy and The Mummy
Yeah,
Returns.
great movie.
Yeah, but yeah,
And Fra-
Thunderbolts.
oh yeah.
Thunderbolts got a nice little trailer,
Well,
and
also
I really like this.
I saw a thing about Taskmaster's new design.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a real thing?
It is a real thing.
Okay.
Have you been watching the previous trailers, or have you had your eyes closed? She's
No,
had
yeah,
that design in all of them.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
she's barely in the trailers,
Yeah.
so
I think she's gonna
I
die.
actually forgive you for not remembering that. But yeah, her new design is better than her Black Widow one, I think. I
Definitely.
find it odd that they went out of the way to redesign her just to kill her off in this one anyway.
Because she's definitely dead, guys.
Yeah, no one's buying that Taskmaster toy, bro. She's gone, bro. She's gonzo. But yeah, this trailer, first of all, I really like, and everyone has really liked that it's promoting not just the director and the stars, but the writers, the
Yeah,
cinematographer, the production designer, the editor, and the composers. Like the editors of this movie, the
everyone's
composer,
getting some.
everything that they've made that everyone knows, like, damn, that's a good movie. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. All these people working on this one, holy shit. Even and it's not just like, oh, Florence Pugh's in this movie. It's like, no, the
Florence Pugh
star
from
from
all these
boom,
great movies that
exactly,
you like.
and all these other actors from all these great movies that
Yeah,
everyone likes. Like, damn, they're really. If this movie flops, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna lie.
I
This
really.
film better be banging.
Yeah,
But they seem really confident in it. So yeah. Then we've got a little. The trailer was very short, but we see a few things. Like we see Yelena talking to herself in something, which is
yeah.
definitely like a dream sequence or some shit.
Has
Um,
in this new phase, have we seen like someone talk to a version of themselves in every movie? Because this keeps happening a lot. Um,
has
it,
it?
yeah. Wait, what phase are we in? Like,
We're in phase
five.
5.
Yeah, Ant-Man had a whole bunch of
Oh
Scots.
yeah, you're right.
Deadpool Green had a whole bunch of people. Loki took kisses himself.
That's
Um,
it.
um, what
Marvels.
Marvels? Oh, was there? We just watched it the other day. Such a
I don't think it did.
damn it. Okay, theory debunked.
All right, we'll just stop right there then. We'll cut it. We'll fix it first. But yeah, we've got Valentina, the lady who's behind all this. We see she's like training Bob on his powers for a moment, and just goes to show like how much influence has she got on him and all this, and like
Yeah,
who's like we know Bob's Sentry, but like in the context of this movie, who is Bob? What's going on here? Because in the comics, Sentry is a forgotten Avenger. He was there on the very first team up. He's always been there, but then
Doctor
everyone's memory was wiped, and no one remembers Sentry
got
at
Peter
all.
Parker.
Exactly, yeah. And I don't know if they're gonna bring that here because why is he locked up and everything and all this shit. We'll find out if they adapt that. It'd be interesting to see how they pull off. If they showed off,
Of New York. You don't
yeah,
remember
if they showed off like footage from the previous
people would
movies and then
not
we
like
just
that.
add him in there, that'd be interesting.
I
Because
would
then
like that if
also
they did that with Deadpool. Like, if Deadpool comes,
Deadpool's just always been there,
yeah. What do you mean? I was in Sokovia.
chatting mad shit jokes or whatever. That's why they've just every time they've told the story, they've left him out because he's just
Yeah.
being annoying and not helpful in all these scenarios. He gets some guy
I'm very
killed by
cool.
accident or whatever or some shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
um,
it's stupid.
yeah, but yeah, people and I looked in the comments, I looked online. Everyone's loving this trailer. In fact, everyone's been loving all the trailers. This
Yeah,
one especially, though.
it's
I
because
feel
Bucky's
like
in it.
everyone's like, "Damn, this feels like a movie. Like we're getting a film right now. We're not just getting another Marvel flick."
Yeah,
And everyone's excited, and I really do hope it's good for that. And if it is genuinely good, then the hype plus it being good, I think this film could make some wicked money. I
yeah.
think we're
I mean,
gonna get a nice,
I really want to see this opening night as well.
yeah.
Usually we always do, but recently we've been a little bit lazy.
We've been slacking a bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, have a feeling, might be a wild feeling, but I think this might hit a billion.
Oh, Billions Club. Okay.
I think this is joining the billions club. Of
Say
course, our
less.
most recent one wasn't too. It was Deadpool and Wolverine, which is not long ago at all.
And obviously
Um,
that was going to reach a billion.
yeah, and it's R rated, which is a big feat in its own to get to a billion.
Yeah.
But this one isn't. I think we can get a billion from here. I think we can. That's only if the film is good. But
Yeah.
the hype is definitely doing its side of the job right now. Um, yeah, I'm interested in your thoughts on how this film is definitely giving us a more comedic Bucky than before, in a different type of comedy than the
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, which
Well,
had Bucky in comedic elements, but he looks like he's a bit sillier in this one, in a way.
he's just the goofy guy.
Yeah,
But I am someone who's really like I love Bucky. In terms
yeah,
of like where we are with Marvel now, he's probably my favorite character, along with Doctor Strange, in the current roster. Um, but Bucky being funny, you see, in First Avenger, again, I watched these movies very recently. I watched all of Phase One like start of this year. Um, Bucky's really charming. Like he seems like a really fun guy. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but when he's on screen, he's doing good. Um, and then by like, it's interestingly enough in Civil War, he's got a he's kind of got like a third personality, which no one really remembers. Because there's like the version of Bucky which just doesn't know who Bucky is, but he knows he was the Winter Soldier. But then again, that's a very serious movie.
mm,
Um, I like that he's found peace in Wakanda. That whole scene of him crying and shit is like
amazing.
it's so good. And I just watched all of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier the other day, and I think that like Bucky is a really funny character. Well, he's not making jokes, but he's more sarcastic.
Yeah,
And this is a gradual thing that you see episode to episode, and I think that a big reason because of that is due to Sam's influence. Sam kind of brings out a side of Bucky, which Steve never did, because Steve is always stoic and American.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Perfect Cap impression.
yeah.
Stoic and American.
Yeah.
That's him.
And it's especially like Sam and Bucky grew close together because they had a common enemy in John Walker and Battlestar, you know? And by the end of the Falcon Soldier,
He hated Battlestar, bro.
that guy at
I
all
love that clip where he's like,
and
"And who are
stop
you?"
the
I'm
car.
Battlestar, his partner. Stop the car! I'm getting out of here, bro. Screw this.
I'm walking.
I love that. But yeah, like Bucky is really comedic in that show because, in the sense that he's
Doesn't give
sarcastic and
a fuck.
angry all the time. But
Yeah,
in this one, I noticed a lot. You see clips with him and Alexi, and Alexi brings out a side of him we don't really see. Like they're
yeah,
driving in the car together and they're both like roaring and cheering, like yeah, like
yeah.
it's something you don't see ever with Bucky, and I'm interested to see how that gets played off here.
But
Um,
I really, really love this character, and I think that different people can bring out different sides of the character. Like when he's talking to Rocket Raccoon, that's an interaction I forget. And like he's like, oh, can I have the arm? And he's like, no.
it's not for sale, bro.
And then he picks him up and like fucking firing and shit.
Yeah,
Like his interaction with every other character in the MCU is always brilliant. So
yeah,
I'm down. I want to see where these goes. I'm interested to see where him and John Walker's relationship lies now.
yeah. That's gonna be interesting. I really want him just to keep taking the piss out of him
I want to
Every
be
time John tries
that
to
shield fucking breaks.
yeah,
You
every
know?
time John tries to big himself up, I want Bucky to be there to just break him back down.
Yeah.
Every time
Look
he's like, I
strong,
was Captain
strong,
America, and he was like, yeah, the worst fucking one, bro. You
like a
can't
day.
even couldn't even take me on, or whatever.
Yeah.
Steve beat the shit out of me. You couldn't beat the shit out of me. He's like, what the hell, man? What kind of weird ass insult was that? Um,
Beat my ass.
And the current Captain America can fly. Can you fly? Didn't think so. He has the actual shield. Look at your one. Spending like a fucking tin can, bro. Get
He
out
like
of here.
flicks it with his vibranium arm.
Yeah. But we've seen him like wash his arm in the dishwasher. We see him
Yeah.
like get ketchup on his shirt or some shit in this newest one.
Yeah, yeah,
They're putting him in more comedic scenarios as well, like just living his day-to-day life, like in how Captain America: Brave New World. We see he gives a speech to Sam, and then Sam undermines it, like, "Oh, you got your script writers to write that?" Like, yeah, I was practicing a little bit on the way
too much
here.
in the end.
Yeah, like, so it's very interesting how we've got Bucky now,
Yeah.
in his life. But yeah, I don't mind it so far.
Just don't kill him.
Just don't you dare kill him off.
Don't touch
um,
him.
but yeah,
More trailers. We have the Lilo and Stitch trailer that dropped. How do you
yeah,
think about
an extra trailer now,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was
Wait, we
alright.
ask this every episode. You haven't seen Lilo and Stitch.
I have not seen Lilo and
Okay.
Stitch. I actually thought I did. The more I watched the
It's probably
trailer, I realized
some obscure advert.
some
Record.
random
Yeah.
Christmas special.
Yeah.
No, I've seen, I think, a bit of this movie, probably like in primary school during wet play or some shit, which
Yeah.
I've seen. I now realize I've
Oh,
seen a lot of
American
movies.
listeners, that's when it's raining and we have to stay inside in primary school. And they
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
something that's not like a weird sex thing.
No, yeah, wet play is not a weird. We're in the normal. We went to normal schools. But yeah, that's just what we called it when we had to be inside, which I preferred because we just sit
I like
inside, and they gave us little notebook, like little books that you could just draw in, and of course I loved that. I was like, oh, bun outside. I just want to stay inside and draw or play the
that
board
would be
games
my
or whatever we
favorite
did.
chess. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it.
So yeah, and then we'd always put a movie on. It was actually how I saw parts of
The
the
first
original
Alien
Hulk.
movie. Oh, okay.
No. I saw the original Hulk a bit in school.
Wait, which is the original Hulk? Like the fucking
2003, Ang Lee
oh,
Hulk.
okay, right. You say
Um,
original Hulk, I think of the other guy.
Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was a
That's
TV show.
really
I mean,
weird.
the Hulk movie.
Okay. You see, I
Um,
have that on DVD, and anytime I can't fall asleep, I always put that movie on.
and it just successfully bores you so much you just
Yeah,
pass out.
especially it's just the opening credits where you see like the starfish and shit.
Yes, see, that is ingrained into my brain because of that
Yeah.
movie.
And
And
then
also,
you sleep.
just gotta say, put this out there. This is unrelated. That movie is not for children.
No. Why would they
Because
bring you? He like fights Hulk dogs in that movie as well.
not even just that, but like not only is it not a fun action film for
Isn't
kids
it like
because
an
it's
abusive
very
father situation?
yes that part.
Yeah, that's not
It's also a long introspective type of movie, which would just bore kids. But also the beginning of the movie, when he's cutting up the starfish and shit, you see his dad like abusing his mom. Not like you don't like see it, but it's very implied explicitly on screen that he's abusing the mom and abusing the kid. And like that shit
really
traumatized me, man.
Yeah.
The dad like yelling at the mom, closing the door, and then like running over to Bruce, and you like it switches away. And I'm sitting there thinking, why are we watching this? Why did the teacher keep it on? What the hell's going on here?
The biggest Hulk fan over here, bro.
It was insane.
That is something that this is such a tangent, but this
We were in year 2, man. Like, I'm not kidding. This was not meant for us. I don't know why we're watching it.
this is something that we've never seen from the MCU's version of the Hulk. Is that like his Hulk persona is a byproduct of his abusive like household,
Yeah,
and
he
we have
has
never touched on that.
what's it called? Oh shit, what do they call it? Dissociative identity disorder, because of this traumatic event, which forced him to make the inner child, like the child, what's it called, identity, and one. So he's got like multiple personalities in it. He's got like 3 to 5, depending on the writer, and none of it is in the MCU. It's barely touched on in She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's when I thought it would have been, but
More important, he's like,
especially
why
how
don't you have a split
said-
identity?
yeah,
She's like, I don't know.
exactly.
That would have been a good time to explore that it's not a gamma thing, Bruce. It's just you.
You're the problem. Maybe I'm the problem.
um,
Anyway, Lilo
yeah.
and Stitch.
Anyway, yeah. Well, I don't know how we. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch. I think I've seen maybe a bit of it as a kid, but watching this trailer made me realize unless this movie, you could tell me, unless this trailer is very different to the original, I have now realized I've not seen the original movie because I've seen a lot of things here that I don't recognize.
Oh no, yeah, this seems pretty spot on.
Okay, then I just haven't seen the original.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a whole
that's what it
space
is.
segment at the start of the movie where Stitch kills.
Yeah, see, that was as soon as I played the trailer, and then I
You say what
started
the
watching.
fuck?
Yeah, because I was thinking, did I click onto the Star Wars trailer or some shit by accident or Star Trek? Because there's just spaceships and lasers and everything. I'm like, is
No,
this
yeah.
a Lilo and Stitch? I thought this was a movie about them on the beach and waves and shit. And like,
The opening of this movie is kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really like the whole space scene in Lilo and Stitch, and then he crash lands into like Hawaii.
this sounds so crazy to me. Like, oh, I love the space scene. I did not know it had that. That sounds so stupid to me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Um,
he's a
I know he's an alien, but I thought he
yeah.
just crashes in and that's it.
No,
Like
no,
how
no.
the
He's
symbiote
like
shows up
the
in
agent
Spider-Man
of
3.
chaos. He's just like the symbiote in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I thought it just
That is
drops
hilarious.
in unexplained, just like that. I
No,
didn't know he's has a whole backstory and everything.
yeah, yeah. Basically, you know, the alien which you see for a split second later on in the trailer.
Sure.
He's the person who made Stitch.
Made him?
Made Stitch to be a like fucking criminal. Like, there's he made him evil basically,
Bruh.
and that's why they're after Stitch because like he's no good. He's a bad egg. But Lilo teaches him like humility. Wow, that word.
Humility?
Yeah, humility.
How did you still fuck it up?
Yep, and he turns into a good guy at the end.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know what this film was about. That's crazy. Okay.
The Lilo, I mean the Stitch design looks pretty good actually.
Yeah, I
It
don't
looks,
hate it.
yeah, he looks like the character. It's weird. I've never ever thought about what's it called? What Lilo would look like as a human being, and I don't know. That's just weird to me. But it's just
Yeah,
because
because the art style is very stylized in the
it's
original.
very stylized. Yeah. I'm upset that Bubbles isn't like a really huge guy. He just looks like my sister's dad. You've met my sister's dad. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, is Bubbles the agent guy?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, he should be a bigger dude, but
um, I guess that's all I have to really say about it. It looks
no,
okay.
yeah, I do think what at least this film looks like it has color and source. That's that clip of like Stitch coming out of his space pod and it's like the green smoke all around him and
Yeah,
everything.
no, that looks
That
really
looks really good
yeah.
because that was something I for sure thought would look like shit because the original looked sick and I was thinking all these live action remakes make everything gray and shit and ugly looking and take away all the source of the original. But thankfully, this one seems to keep it. And this one looks colorful and fun. The actress for Lilo is the child actress. She's doing all right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Nothing egregiously cringe just yet.
when are you gonna let me go out? I'm like, oh.
But we'll see when the film comes out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, still got a question: why does this movie exist?
Why do any of them exist? To be honest.
Yeah. If it's not
Yeah,
going to add something that we
which
don't
one
have,
do you
what?
draw the line at? What live action remake is it like? That's when you're done.
I mean, I've been done. But
Tired.
okay, so we next up we've got Snow White, which no, you know what? Snow White is where I'm done because with the
Oh,
CGI dwarfs and everything that look like garbage.
you
Yeah,
can get real dwarfs in. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
done right there.
I think if they ever do like a live action version of Toy Story, I feel like that's when I'm done. Because
What would even be the point?
exactly what's the point of any of these? And then I would just cry.
But then, like, we had a live action Lion King, and it's not live action because it's all CGI anyway. So what was the point of that as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, I drew the line a while ago, man.
they be lying.
Yeah, I don't. we're at a point of no return though now. They still
Yeah.
make too much money. They're just gonna make a remake of every single film
Okay.
they've made.
No, I think I asked you this before in one of the other episodes, actually. I was just about to bring up Ratatouille, but that's just a rat cooking. And then I remember saying that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's just the bear, but with a rat, you know. And
that's
the
just
bear's good, so we don't need another one.
hands. I need hands.
Oh yeah, actually, I want to talk about the bear a little bit. Have you watched the bear?
I have never seen a single episode of The Bear.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it, but bro, this is genuinely an amazing show. And
Oh,
like I put it on, I'm watching it with my dad and my brother. My brother's not too interested. He's like watching it half, like he's on his phone the other half. But my dad and I love this show, and of course it's because we
it's
work in
not too much.
hospitality. Yes,
Yeah.
but even despite that, you're gonna love it anyway. Just the fact that me and my dad have experience in hospitality makes us like even more because it's
Okay.
so accurate to it. Um, and but yeah, the characters are amazing. Like, bro, this film keep no sorry, this show keeps you on the edge. Like
Okay.
they get stressed in this show. And Nathan, when I tell you one thing, there is a whole episode, 20 minutes. Yeah, it's one long take.
Serious.
I'm
Oh,
dead
that is
serious.
sick. Okay.
One long take. It's in season one, and everything goes to shit. And the camera is following these guys in this tiny little kitchen, going back and forth in this tiny restaurant. People crashing into each other, swearing at each other. Chilling. I don't know how many times they had to do this, but it was amazing. And my heart was like pounding. I was thinking, like, damn, I'm in this fucking restaurant. I'm about to get fired. You know, is what I was thinking.
In this series.
Sorry?
John Bernthal's in
Yes, he is in it as a major character, but with minor appearances. Um,
3 seasons.
yeah, I haven't gone to season three yet. I just finished season two. Um, and yeah,
My only relationship with the bear is that 2 Halloweens ago, you know my friend Johnny, he
yeah.
last minute was like, "Fuck, I need a Halloween costume." So he bought like a blue apron, and I drew like the shittiest tattoos on him. Drunk, yeah, and that's all I know about the bear.
And he's calming now.
And
um,
people recognize him as well. They were like, "Oh my God,
oh
it's
yeah,
you!" And I was like, "Damn."
because like the main character, he always wears like a tight white t-shirt and obviously the blue apron. And apparently, when season two ended, those shirts, the rise in their sales went real up. I was like, I want to look like Kami, bro. Um, but yeah, and
He used
he
to be the thing, right?
no, not the main character. The his like quote unquote cousin, like they like grew up together, whatever, and he's like adopted him
Uh,
into the family essentially. But yeah, his cousin is the thing in Fantastic Four First Steps. But yeah, and that's why they have him like taste food and whatever in the
okay.
trailer and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, his character development, like that character in the show, incredible. He's one of his like most annoying. He's actually, oh my god, perfect analogy. He's Rexplode of this
Okay.
show.
Right.
Just like how you imagine Rexplode was in season one, is how Richie is in the Bear, and then by
Yeah.
the season two's finale, he has come into his own. He has found his purpose, and he's killing it.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, enough of the Bear. But yeah, amazing show. You gotta watch it.
Okay.
Everyone else, you gotta watch it.
Leon actually gives really good recommendations. Everything that he's told me to watch, I have loved. So I will.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Um,
Classic Doctor Who.
that one we're still
Yeah.
working on.
Uh,
Um,
wait, there's another one. There's another sleeper hit that you told me. It'll come to me.
we watched what's it called?
Oh, Breaking Bad is something you told me to watch.
Breaking Bad, Uncut Gems,
Yeah.
um,
Memento is another one.
Memento. No, that one we came onto together. We watched it together.
Oh, right. No, yeah, because we couldn't watch Interstellar that day.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure there's one more. But anyway, yeah, the Bear's great. Anyway, but yeah, where were we? We talked about Lilo and Stitch. Talked about. Oh, we've got The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Last of Us trailer. Last of Us Part 2. I'm gonna try and like not talk too much. 'Cause, I mean, I would just yap on forever, but very interesting trailer. Do you do you want to be spoiled at all? about anything?
Um, okay. Spoilers for the fans. I do know. If you don't want to be spoiled,
Just
Last of Us Part 2, skip to the next
15,
section.
15, 15. Yeah, go
We
go.
have chapters.
Oh yeah, time codes below.
Time goes below. Yeah. But yeah, I do know that Last of Us 2 begins with Joel dying. Um,
More or
he
less.
he gets murked.
But
And we see a lot of him in this trailer. I'm starting to think this is all his scenes. They put all of them in the trailer, so you don't know he dies.
my biggest fear is that they just give us too much Joel, because I think that
Really?
yeah, I think that you have.
Oh, actually, wait. Disclaimer for everyone: Nathan is one of the only fans of the story of this game.
I fucking love The Last of Us Part 2, okay?
Yeah,
I think it is just as good, if not better, than Part 1. I don't know why everyone hates it so
yeah,
much.
that's a hot take. That's
Like
a hot take.
no, no, no. Like, don't get me wrong. The Last of Us Part 1 is my favorite narrative ever, okay? It's the best story I have ever seen in my entire life. And I think that Part 2 is the perfect sequel to Part 1. And people shit on it like every single day. And I don't understand why, Leon. Um I think that every scene with Joel in The Last of Us Part 2 is exactly the way it needs to be. And I think if they fuck it up, like I would be upset if they even added like one more scene with Joel in part 2, you know? Because
Even if
that
it's
would
just
really
him like
fuck
taking a piss.
yeah, no, because it's fucking. He's talking to this random little kid. I don't like that. I don't. I want them to do exactly the same thing. I think that you can adapt part. You could adapt part one into a TV show very, very easily, but I don't see how you can really do part two. Um, I'm just worried. I'm just worried about that. Especially because like the opening of part two is like phenomenal because you get reintroduced to the characters of Joel and Ellie. It's quite awkward. It's very fresh off of part one time wise, and then there's a 4 year time jump, and like there's hints towards what happened between Joel and Ellie, which I won't go into. Um, but basically, the life that you imagined them having is not what took place.
Mm,
And you do not, you never understand the full backstory until the last scene of the game, and then you're crying.
mad.
Yeah, it's like the final piece of the puzzle. Everything clicks, and like and it's the end of the game, and I'm like, I was just not right. But in terms of like the opening of the game, like it's very human. You see everyone interact with each other like they have been friends for the past 4 years, and then there's like a romantic subplot with Ellie and someone called Dina, and then it builds tension so incredibly well, and then they fucking killed Joel. And it's like, what the actual fuck? Anything can happen in this game, and I think that's where everyone turned off. But if
Yeah.
you stick with it, it's like such a beautiful story. Um, Ellie and Abby's character arcs both mirrored Joel's life, and I think they really can't fuck this up. And yeah, in this trailer, you see like to be honest, it's looking pretty good. I made a YouTube video about like my concerns about what they need to get right. And
Hmm.
yeah, it looks really good. Again, I'm just gonna beat a dead horse, but fucking Bella Ramsey as Ellie, I do not fuck with at all. Um, but hey ho, what can you do?
Yeah, they're not even trying to make her look like her.
Nah, she's just
Uh,
not it. There's
her
the
fuck ass
scene.
hair, bro. Like,
Oh my god. There's the scene where she confronts Nora. That's the clip where she's in like a red hallway, and I'm
hmm.
not gonna lie, it does not hit this. That's a scene where like Ellie fully embraces what Joel used to be like, and she chases this bitch down. There's this like hospital, and you know how Ellie can breathe in spores in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like aura farming the hell out of this scene. She like walks down this red hallway when like Nora's coughing up all the spores, and then she realizes, oh shit, it's Ellie. Um, and then Ellie fucking beats information out of her. And like it switches to Nora's POV, and then like you just see like tap square, and like is Ellie like beating the shit out of her, and then it's cuts to like Ellie's hand shaking as she like tries to open the door to see Dina, because yeah, she's not okay with that like at all. She like she crossed the line. But obviously in this series, spores don't exist, so it's going to be a very different interpretation. And Ellie's not even wearing the costume that Ellie wears in that game. You know the poster I have in my room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
so that upsets me. I don't feel like Bella Ramsey can aura the farm the hell out of that scene. Um, you see like the different factions in Seattle, so that's pretty interesting. I do wonder what people's reactions to Lev are gonna be, because in the game, Lev is this she's a he's a trans person, and like she gets banished by his people, and like his own mum tries to kill him because he doesn't accept him. I think it's a really beautiful story, and I hope that's done well in the series. And I hope that like people are nice to these characters, these actors, because I know
Yeah.
that Abby's gonna get like so much hate.
No, yeah.
I'm
The
upset that she didn't bulk up, um, because that's a big part of her character. There's a scene of Tommy killing a bloater. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that Tommy's involvement in The Last of Us Part 2 is very important, and also I feel like you shouldn't see him. Like in the game, um, Tommy's Joel's brother, by the way, in case you forgot. Um, Tommy
I remember.
Tommy goes after Abby, and Ellie goes after Abby, but Tommy's like a day ahead, and you never see Tommy, but then you do see his aftermath, and it's like, damn, I forget. Tommy's Joel's brother, of course. Um, he fucks shit up, but yeah, I'm interested
Damn,
to see like what I
that
just
sounds really cool.
yeah, like basically
Just following a trail of bodies until you find Abby.
pretty much you see like bombs and shit, and then in the game, mild spoiler to you, Leon. Um, the POV change it. The game is edging you, Leon, and just as you're about to bust, the game switches POV, and then you go 3 days back and you play as Abby, Joel's killer, and um, during the Abby section of the game, you come across Tommy and you realize that you are fucked because Tommy is like a class sniper, and you have to try and survive. You have to try and survive Tommy. It's
Damn.
insane. Yeah. So I'm really interested to see what that scene will look like. I hope it's like a one shot because in the game it's so cinematic. So yeah. Anyway, I'm
All
gonna
right, that
enough.
sounds really cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
But in terms of the trailer, you see the horde which gets Abby and Joel at the start of the game. It looks like it's actually gone to Jackson, which did not happen in the game, but I guess we'll see about that. I guess they're fleshing out Jackson. They even introduced Jackson in season 1 of the show, which didn't happen. You never stepped foot in Jackson in season 1.
Hmm.
Um, what else did I see from this trailer? Pretty much just visuals. You see the party scene, which I love a lot. I could play the guitar song which plays in that scene. Just want to flex. Um,
You single ladies.
thanks. So yeah, that I guess that's enough for that.
All
Yeah,
right, yeah, no. The show looks good as season one did. The zombies look as good as well. The practical effects and
Oh,
everything.
okay. There's one. Okay, the most important scene. Okay, Leon. Yeah. Basically, I'm gonna spoil something kind of.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
The most important scene in this game is my favorite level to any game I've ever played in my life, and it's Ellie's pretty much at her like lowest, and Joel is dead at this point, and Ellie starts strumming the guitar and starts playing the song that Joel taught to her as a kid. And there's a flashback scene, which is you could see the flashback in one of these clips in the trailer. It's like with Joel in the woods, and basically for one of Eddie's birthdays, Joel takes Ellie to a museum because she loves space and dinosaurs. And there's one scene when she's sitting in like the space shuttles, and Joel like gives her a recording of like a of its liftoff, and like the camera shifts to like right. It focuses on Ellie's face, and like you can see Joel living through like Ellie. It's really. I've explained this so poorly. I'm gonna cut all this out, but you know what? There's a really important scene.
Oh my days, Nathan.
I did. I. That's fine. Anyway, we'll just continue.
Anyway, Last of Us Part 2 looks exciting.
It's okay.
All right. So that's
Also really soon as well, April.
oh right, it's coming in April.
Yeah, April 13th, didn't it say?
Mate, I've learned that I do not retain
You do not.
or the release date part. As soon as the trailer's over, it's over in my brain. As soon as they put the release date up there, I blank out. I never remember when these things come out. I literally just watched that trailer and I couldn't tell you for the life of me when it was going to come out.
No, yeah, really, really soon. So
Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's the news segment. I think we're all good on that now.
yeah.
We can now move on to the content we watched this past week. Daredevil.
Born Again.
All right.
So
we watched this.
Spoilers? No spoilers?
Oh yeah, spoilers straight
Yeah,
away.
okay.
Man, if you haven't watched Daredevil,
Go
get the
watch
fuck out of
Daredevil.
here. Skip to the Invincible section.
up.
If you haven't watched Invincible, then you're done.
Just
Thanks.
imagine not watching Invincible.
Imagine not watching two amazing shows. Thank you for listening so far then. Bye. We'll see you next week where we are still talking about the shows that you aren't watching.
When Invincible's done, so.
But yeah, we watched it, like for context, we went out, had a fun night out for Nathan's birthday, by the way.
22.
Big old 22. And then he went snored immediately, and I stayed up and watched this episode, and then we both watched it the next morning.
Yeah.
I watched it the second time, and yeah,
I woke up and like this guy was still asleep, and I was like, "Oh my god, new Daredevil episode!" I was gonna like kick down the door, wake up.
like I've already seen it, buddy.
You've seen it.
I didn't sleep until 5, right?
He doesn't sleep. Yeah. So yeah, Daredevil, Born Again. What's your thoughts on?
Wow.
Well, we didn't write.
I wrote notes.
Leon wrote a. We were watching it, and then Leon was like, "Nathan, pass my iPad. I need to make a prediction." So I really don't know what that is.
We'll get to that when it's time. It's not like a prediction I'm like 100% certain on, but I just want to put it out there in case it happens.
Okay.
Just so I can say I knew it. My confidence on it happening isn't high, but
Like, you seemed pretty cocky when you were like,
no, but that was me thinking, yo, if I'm right about this, it's gonna be sick. But yeah, so this episode, I loved it. We didn't get any Daredevil action in this one, but this
felt
proved that we didn't always need that, which did make me think, because it has been all but confirmed apparently that episode 2 and this one 3 were the original first 2 episodes. Episode 1 was all part of the reshoots, and I'm sure some scenes in this stuff and the other episode were part of the reshoots as well. But for the most part, these were the original first 2 episodes, which
it's an interesting way to introduce a show. If this was the first episode.
Well, this one would have been the second.
I meant, yeah.
But last week's one, would have been an interesting way to start. And yeah, because first 2 episodes, you don't even see the Daredevil suit. And you only get one action scene of Matt, and it's at the end of episode 1, and then that's it.
Well, speaking of that, in the opening of this episode, Matt straight up burns that guy on the court stand.
Yeah. I loved it. Like, oh, you know the cure for a black eye is fast hands. Be like, all right, Matt, shut the fuck up. Stop.
Yeah. Matt, just stop, okay? Matt's kind of a menace in this episode as well. It builds tension really, really well. And like Matt's kind of a dick. And I kind of enjoy that a lot.
Like, jumping ahead a bit, Matt revealing Hector's identity
crazy.
without him knowing. What the hell, man? Like
He,
you can
he
see,
like build it up. He was like, "But you're a hero, aren't you? Aren't
he's
you,
like,
Hector?" And I was like,
I don't know what you're talking about. Like I was just doing the right thing. Yeah, and you do that all the time, don't you? Because yes or no, are you the white tiger?
And he
And
like
everyone's like,
he pulls
what
the mask
the?
out of the bag and like holds
Yeah,
it in the
he
air.
had it ready, and and he's like, yes or no, answer me. And Hector's just paralyzed. He doesn't know what to say. And
You
then the
can't
judge
believe
is like, Matt, in my chambers now.
it.
You dickhead. You made me look a fool in there. Oh, my days. Yeah,
You
I
come
love
to
that.
my house and lecture me about morality and what's right and wrong, and you pull this bullshit.
You tell me we shouldn't bring it up because it wouldn't be fair, and then you bring it up as a surprise. The fuck do you think you are? Like, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I wasn't meant to do that.
Matt, shut up.
I was so meant to do
We're trying to
that.
think.
Like, I wasn't trying to disrespect you. I so was. I'm undermining you so hard right now. Like,
It
oh
was
man,
so funny. We
it
were
was. I loved it.
we were laughing.
It
Give
was incredible.
me
But
uh,
yeah, going
I,
back to the beginning.
yeah.
So yeah, what I have here? We've got Fisk and Vanessa. They're like they are not on the best terms right now with because like Fisk is all about like I want to be mayor, I want to be legit. I don't want us to have any connections to crime because it won't be a good look for us. And Vanessa's all about like I'm itching to get back into the crime, so I can't leave it because
She's
if
for crime.
it's gonna go to shit if I leave it now. And we've worked too hard for this. And he's like, I know,
Also,
but
like,
babe,
I think part of
we've
her,
got a reputation.
yeah, like I understand what Vanessa's saying though because she does want. She's worried about him. They've been running things. When they stop running things, they're gonna come after Fisk. You know,
Yeah, she does have a point. If
and
you're not
yeah,
keeping them
they
in
probably
line, they're
will.
gonna bite back eventually. They're
Yeah,
gonna rise up.
you
And you
can't have
see,
cake and eat it too. Oh, about that actually, I love that Wilson, like Fisk, is just eating in like every scene he's in. He's just munching his lips.
every scene we've seen him so far, he's like, Vanessa, this is really good. Yes, I'm very full right now. I'll
Well,
have a second plate. Like, uh, he doesn't say any of that, but
indeed.
that's what I'm imagining him
Yeah,
saying in his head. Um,
it's food. It's delicious.
yeah, I
When I
love
was
this food
when I was a boy,
almost as much as I love New York,
we
but
couldn't
almost
afford.
not as much.
Anyway,
When I was a boy, my mother didn't make me meals often because my father would beat her so hard she couldn't make me
actually, the
food.
thing from season one, like his dad's like, just stop. Look at this fat ass. Stop feeding him cake.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot. Oh man.
Oh my god. Anyway, now he's gonna eat.
Food is a
Yeah.
symbol of his freedom from his dad who
Yeah.
wouldn't let him eat. Yo, it's deeper than we thought. No, I'm
Just
kidding. Okay.
and TV.
Nah, he's just fat. Anyway, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So Vanessa has a point. Fisk also has a point. Do you think? Okay, genuine question. Do you think that Fisk is actually clean, or is he gonna snap in this show, or is he
I
just?
think eventually he will snap, but I do think this is because, of course, it's when Echo healed him or whatever of his
Oh yeah,
traumas.
with his heart.
Now, he does have an agenda, but like his agenda isn't evil. It's just
He just wants to
I
get
want to
rid of
be.
vigilantes, I think.
Yeah, it's like I want to be in charge of New York to shape it in my image. Now,
Right.
Fisk's image isn't exactly perfect, is the issue. But
Yeah.
in his mind, he's doing the right thing because he thinks his image is right. He thinks he's doing what's best for New York because he loves New York. And so it's not as because yeah, he's now doing this the legal way. I do think he is in his mind the hero, and this is a different side to him than the first three seasons. But will we see him snap back? I do think maybe not as far back as he
Yeah, I'm
was in those
probably
first
gonna see
three.
him kill a man with the door.
He's gonna kill a man with a door, but it's gonna take a while. In fact, I remember we made this prediction. What was the name? There's a name of an episode upcoming that sounds like it's the episode where
Oh yeah.
Matt will probably kill someone. And I said it's going to be Matt and Kingpin killing someone for the first time in a while for the both of them.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a great parallel. Although when I watched episode one, I thought my theory was Gonzo when he
Yeah.
pushed Bullseye off that roof. I was like, damn, you just killed Bullseye. There goes my theory. But then Bullseye survived. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's back on. It's back on. Um, but yeah. Um, so yeah,
Good
Fisk.
for this.
I'm interested to see
Their
what happens with
storyline was
him.
kind of sidelined a bit this episode, I find. He did reach out to BB again, and dropped like a crazy monologue.
Yeah, at the end about how the law prevails and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was just sitting there, just no one's watching him except BB. But even though it's all audio, he's like sitting there aura farming. Like
Yeah.
he knows whoever's listening knows he's sitting there and posing and everything, holding something. Yeah. But yeah,
All
we've got
that was good.
something I found interesting is how much this episode shines a light on like the dirty cops in New York
Yeah.
and how, unlike the first few seasons, this has no external influence. It's not Fisk paying people off to be dirty cops.
Yeah.
These cops are just dirty. Like, they are just bad to their core, which is a bit more like real life
Which is
for the
rotten.
majority of cops.
Yeah.
These guys, even now that they're off Fisk's payroll, they still...
Well, we assume so. It could
Yeah.
still be revealed that, but it seems like
Maybe on Vanessa's
like-
payroll, because
Yeah.
Fisk can't get caught up in all that. But the fact is that now they've taken, like, they're influenced by the Punisher, like, they're inspired by, they've all got these tattoos and everything. It's clearly like a
They all got
movement going on.
tattoos.
Yeah, we got a little boy band going on, you know. But they're all inspired by the Punisher,
Yeah.
and obviously he's not going to like that, which is a storyline straight from the comics, which is going to be cool to see because, of course, jumping ahead to the end of the episode, we see.
Okay, you have to build up to it.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to leave that.
Oh, okay.
We'll dish this cop thing until the end. So, we've got Hector Ayala. Oh my days. The actor, unfortunately, has passed.
Yeah, that's
but
really
he did
interesting.
a great job in this episode.
They drop a very much like a Daredevil season 1 type monologue, how he describes like the beaches and where he comes from, and
Yeah,
these like frogs, and how they have this like beautiful falling sound, and he's like lit like the Netflix show, and Matt's
yeah, with like this nice
Sorry.
golden light on him
golden light 'cause of
in the
sun.
dark room.
And yeah, the actor did just such an amazing job
Yeah,
this episode,
And
and
you
it's
can-
really upsetting.
his face in the courtroom, every scene, but you feel his emotion. Like when the
Saying
cop is just like lying about his name, and you're like, yeah, he pushed him off the tracks. Like he was evil, you know, and he's just sitting there like pissed. He's like, no, that's not what I did. He doesn't say a word, but like you can hear him in his mind, just like livid that he's being lied about in this way, that ruining his image. And Matt has to calm down, like, hey, don't freak out, you know. And then when he's on the stand, he's saying, I did it because it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. And he gets up all in the mic and it echoes, it was the right thing to do. And then, yeah, every scene of it. And then when he wins the case, oh my God, that feeling
I
on his face and in my
I was
chest.
like, oh my God, I really feel for this guy. I mean, just
Yeah.
him.
You feel so happy, like, yo, he won the case. He beat. Bro, think about that as well. Matt helps a person of color beat a case of him, quote unquote, killing a cop. Like, that
That's
does not
true.
happen.
Yeah,
That shit does not happen in real life, bro.
this cop was white. I mean,
Matt-
people actually gave a fuck.
It's an amazing lawyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then all this amazing feeling you get, and it's just like those black movies you see where there's the guy who's about to leave the hood. He got into college, and he's gonna make it out,
Yeah.
and then the film's about to end on a happy note, and then
Hey,
you
Jamal.
hear those tires screech, and some guy parks up, opens the door, he's like, "We got you," and you're like, "No!" Boom, the guy dies. Oh,
Thing is,
and
like,
that's what
he's
happens
running
here.
down the street, and like there's this beautiful like sunset orange beaming behind him, and he's ready to be White Tiger,
He hears a woman cry out for help.
Yeah.
He runs
Went
over.
ahead.
The street lamp is on him, and it looks great, all the fog and everything. And then someone in the dark that you can just barely see if you're looking for him, and he walks out and just shoots him in the head.
Diabolical.
He just drops
I
like a
couldn't believe
fucking
it.
rock.
I was like, what?
And yeah, Nathan audibly went, "Huh? What?" He just sat there, and like right before that, like Hector's like suiting up, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad to see this. Let's see this amulet go to work. This the amulet that gives him strength. And
Yeah.
then me knowing this guy's about to die in 5 seconds.
I couldn't believe it. I was actually so upset.
But yeah, and like the suit looks alright as well. I like it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he just drops dead,
And then you just
and
hear
then
frogs.
this guy walks up to the camera. He's a complete silhouette, but then on his chest it lights up, and you see the Punisher skull.
Yeah, I don't know if
But
that's the real Punisher.
it's not the Punisher, because if you look at it closely, that is a police vest that's been spray painted.
Okay.
And we see when Hector won the case, we see the cops looking in the courtroom, looking at each other like,
Oh, they're
we
gonna
got to
get.
do something about
Okay.
this.
Yeah, no, I didn't suspect. I did suspect it wasn't the
Yeah.
Punisher.
So whilst I originally thought, yo, it's Punisher, what the fuck? Then I thought about it, why would he do that? He only kills criminals. So unless he just doesn't believe that Hector was innocent, but then like, hey, that's not your place to say, bro. You weren't even there. And if Matt's defending him, then it must be true, because Matt can tell the truth. He knows Matt can tell if you're lying,
He
right?
knows Matt's Daredevil.
Yeah, but he knows like he can tell if you lie or not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
In
So yeah,
season 2, he confronts a man on the boat, and then Daredevil's like, he's lying. He's not lying. He is lying. Yep.
okay. You do great at explaining
He's
things.
not Smith. He's lying. He's scared.
What you talking about? Like, hang on, let me explain it properly. His heart is telling me. Anyway, but yeah,
What the hell are you talking about, Red?
let me tell you something, Red. You better tell me something about if this guy's lying or not, and make it clear. But yeah, I think a really interesting point that never gets brought up in this universe, in like the Marvel large universe, is about superheroes and their identities,
Yeah.
and how they made a great point. Like the opposing lawyer was talking about how can we trust a man who hides his identity? Why doesn't he show his face like what real heroes do? And like normally that's just like, oh, the police, they show their face and da, da, da. But then in this universe,
Tony Stark,
Iron Man
Captain,
showed his
Steve
face
Rogers,
day one.
yeah,
Every major hero
Thor,
shows their face.
Bruce Banner. They're like celebrities.
Yeah, and this shows why people specifically have a hate towards people like Spider-Man and Daredevil, because they're now a minority of people who hide their identity. It's like, why are you hiding your face and not like them? Because you must be shady. You must be hiding something.
Yeah. Well, speaking of secret identities, we came to the conclusion that Matt is really bad at keeping his identity.
This guy sucks. He's not even trying.
MCU Daredevil, like every version that we've seen him in, he reveals his identity in some way. In No Way Home, he catches the brick. I know that he was defending Spider-Man, another hero, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah, like
In Extended Cut, he's like happy, stop sweating, and he's on record. Like he's on record in this scene as well. Um, Fucking in She-Hulk, his identity is revealed because she just takes off the mask, and also he even hints towards it to make a joke about how he likes legal dramas, because he's giving like lawyer advice.
yeah, and she's like, wait, you watch legal dramas? You're like,
The
something
other
like
guy's
that.
like, oh, this guy's a lawyer too, and he's like, no, I just like legal dramas. And then I think that's all the MCU appearances, but in this episode as well, he's talks to Hector like he can see him.
Yeah, he's like, Hector, don't react. And it's like,
Yeah,
how would you know that? And also to his partner, who his name I've now forgotten. It's on the name of their firm,
come on, you can do it.
Murdoch and
McDuffie.
McDuffie. That's it. She's like looking around for their witness to show up, and he's like, "Stop staring at the door. It's not going to come faster." And she's like, "I wasn't staring at the door."
You know that.
But yeah, it's yeah, his identity doesn't really try that hard to hide it.
Yeah,
But at
bro.
the same
He
time,
like
who's gonna question you? You know,
the thing is like
who's gonna go?
in the
Hey,
first three
I don't think you're
seasons,
blind.
he kept that shit close to his chest. Because in season one of Daredevil, like Matt doesn't reveal his identity to anyone. People just find out. Like Claire Temple finds him in a bin. Foggy finds him bleeding out. Like he doesn't. He never says, "Oh, I'm Daredevil." It's just something that happens to him. Whereas now, he doesn't give a fuck. I guess it was the start of his career, so
Yeah,
he tells Karen. But then again, that's still like 3 years down the line. Um, Whereas now, yeah, he doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, man, who's gonna believe you?
yeah, no, yeah. That part, I love that about literally the cop who he beat senseless last episode shows up here, and he just looks at him and is like, "Oh, you talking to me?" He's like, "It's me." He's like, "Oh, you again." The guy whose ass I fucking gave back to your mouth yesterday.
I'm
And he's
visually
like,
impaired.
"Oh, the lawyer who can fight." He's like, "Yeah, nobody's gonna believe you. No one is gonna believe you."
Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah, Daredevil's identity. Hopefully, he doesn't tell anyone else. Yeah. The end of the episode has these frogs that he was referring to earlier,
Mm,
and like it was the beach sounds as well. I remember when it started playing, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was, "Oh my god!" and I started crying.
yeah, and this is right after he's died.
Yeah, so
Oh
bang.
man, it was so sad.
He was never seeing that beach again, bro. I should have known.
Oh
Should have known.
man.
Um, but yeah, I think that's yeah. Oh, what was your prediction?
Ooh, okay, so this all relies on the idea that Chekhov's gun. You introduce something, you gotta pay it off at some point. And whilst I joked about it, we do never get to see this amulet being used.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. I think I see where this is going.
And he died, and the guy who killed him didn't take the amulet or break the amulet, which I felt was likely. In my mind, I can see possibly a version of the finale, or maybe a fight before the finale. Maybe it'll be a bit more satisfying that way. But in some fight, Daredevil might use this amulet to give him enhanced strength.
Oh, okay. That's
Um,
not where I thought you were going with that.
okay, because in the comics, Matt discovers a way to enhance his own strength with his enhanced senses.
But that's just like a touch thing.
Yeah, which is something they haven't introduced here, and I don't know if they ever will. This could be their version of that, because whilst he does have apparently increased strength and power, we only ever see one clip of him like stopping a convenience store robbery, and he doesn't have like he's not like sending them flying with each punch or whatever. He doesn't actually seem that different. Well, not that different, but he doesn't seem like crazy strong. He just apparently stronger than his normal self. So the boost is probably not massive. It's just enough to notice a difference on the user. Matt is already a strong guy, so it'd make him noticeably stronger. But I can see maybe not in the finale, because then it'd be like, okay, Matt only won the big final fight because of an amulet, which kind of sucks.
I don't think that man needs it though. Like his fighting abilities, insane.
Well, we do know. I remember the showrunner saying a character gets introduced in the show that you would never imagine will get introduced.
See, I would think
And
that this was more of a white tiger, like a daughter situation, you know?
oh no. Well, part of my thing is that he will use the amulet, but then he won't have in the finale, or maybe even if he does use the finale, he will give it back to the family, and that's where it goes to the daughter or the niece, or because their relation changes. Like in the Ultimate Universe, she's his daughter. In the classic, I think that she's his niece or whatever. But in this episode, we know he has a sister and a niece.
Yeah,
So that's probably Ava. Ava Ayala, the White Tiger, that people are more familiar with. I
yeah.
could definitely see him using it for one fight or something, and then he goes, it's not mine,
He
and he
like
gives it back to the
remember it,
family.
and then like he can see, and it just blows his fucking mind.
That'd be crazy.
He has to change all his books.
He's like, oh man,
Fuck's sake.
all this braille, I gotta get rid of it now. But yeah, like it'd be cool just to see Matt fight at a level you've never seen him before. This is assuming he's going to fight a villain who requires that kind of strength, you know.
Yeah.
Which I assume that comment about a character you never would have thought. I assume that's going to be for a villain and not for a hero. And in fact, the more I think about it, what if it's Stiltman?
Stiltman! They've been edging us with Stiltman for so long. I haven't seen Melvin Potter.
Yeah, because like
Season 3.
Stillman is definitely someone I would never imagine would be introduced in the show like this. That's
Like,
serious and everything.
he's in the show, technically.
As it, but like but he's not Stiltman, bro. Like,
and he's wearing the armor for some of it.
yeah,
Like,
he's
you
not.
see it in the back.
He ain't on stilts.
Get them stilts on.
But yeah, anyway, I feel like at some point he might need the amulet or whatever, and it'd be cool. And then he gives it back to the family, as like maybe they gift it to him for a moment because like maybe they find out he's Matt Murdock and they're like,
Oh,
we
great.
want you to have
You
this,
probably just
and like we want you to
told
have
him
this
for no reason.
for everything you did for Hector. Here you go, and whatever. And then he uses it for a bit, and then he gives it back. He's like, "This is your family heirloom, whatever." Something like that. My theory is this amulet will be
For generations.
like my general theory is that the amulet will be important for at least something.
I wasn't
My
even wearing my
specific
magical amulet. That's what he said like a few times in that show. And no one asked him about it. No one gave a fuck.
Yeah, I love that it's just a normal thing, as it's like, Your Honor, why would he do it if you didn't have his amulet that gives him power? And be like, yeah, that makes sense. I love that. But yeah, so I've now got two theories for this show. That being the amulet and Matt and Kingpin killing someone at the same time.
Okay. Hit predictions.
We'll see if either of these come true. If they're both wrong, I will be livid. Anyway, but yeah, I really liked the parallel brought together between Daredevil and White Tiger when Hector's explaining that White Tiger isn't just a costume. It's a part of him. It's who he is. If you tell me to stop being White Tiger, you're asking me to stop breathing.
And I was like, yeah, you need to stop that shit.
Yeah, and Matt's like, I know I didn't ask you to reveal your identity, but I've now just done it.
Want me to be your lawyer?
And now that I've revealed your identity, you're not allowed to do it ever again. You're welcome. I know I didn't consult you on this at all, but yeah, that's just
you
the
got
facts.
shot in the fucking head.
Yeah, obviously Hector ignored all of that. He's like, oh, fuck that. I'm gonna be a hero anyway. In fact, you just inspired me to be a hero even more. You up on the stands telling everyone he's a hero. He does the right thing. I'm like, yeah, I do the right thing. I'm gonna keep doing the right thing.
The right
and
thing
he
to
died
do.
for it.
The right thing to do.
So yeah, which sucks for him. But yeah, when he was saying all that and he's like, I can't let it go and everything, and then Matt's like, I don't know, maybe you won't miss it as much as you think you will,
Well, this is something which segues to a point that I had, which you see Matt with his new girl, and he's cooking for her in the apartment, which is a step up from this last fucking apartment. And,
big time.
Yeah, and he's talking about Foggy fondly, and it's just like, damn, Foggy was holding this guy back.
Like, Matt is like happier than he's ever been. The only times
he's got the baddies, he's actually cooking his own food, and he's just like has this really expensive bottle of like scotch or whatever, and he's successful. And I'm just like, damn, Foggy died, and like Matt just had so much time on his hands.
Matt's life only went up when Foggy died, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But he obviously you see on his face whenever Foggy comes with conversation, he's sad about it. But at the same time, man, look at the bright side. Everything's on the bright side.
Yeah. It's a shame we haven't seen more of Karen Page. I know she's not my favorite character, but she's someone who's important to Matt. But yeah, that's what I really gotta say about this episode. Really fucking loved it.
I don't remember if we talked about it last week or whatever. Did we bring up the theory that Foggy's actually alive?
No, but you were telling me about it in person. So,
yes.
Yeah, lay it on me.
There is a very persistent fan theory right now that Foggy's only faked his death.
It's just denial. It's one of the stages of grief. People will move on.
Perhaps, but at the same time, there is
Why?
evidence of some sort. Um, when they walked out of their firm or whatever, there's an address like on the wall of it, and it's like 486, I think, some shit, or 468, and
Ah,
that's the
yes.
same issue
468.
number that Foggy had his death faked, and in that comic, Matt even hears his heart stop, which happens in the episode as well. So like, there's
Yes,
no like,
that's my point.
yeah, so it's all made like, and plus we know that kind of technology exists here because in Winter Soldier, we see Nick Fury fake his death, and they also say, "Oh yeah, his heart stopped," because
Yeah.
he used this thing that Bruce Banner gave him, um, that like lowers your heart rate until
Mhm.
it's basically zero. So we know that kind of technology exists here that they can get away with that kind of stuff. In the comic, it's apparently Vanessa who fakes his death for him. I don't know how that would work here.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know the motive.
Maybe like Vanessa made Foggy fake his death so Matt would stop being Daredevil because Foggy doesn't want Matt to continue to be Daredevil and Vanessa doesn't want Matt to be Daredevil to stop Fisk.
But then why would Foggy go ahead with that?
Because Foggy, remember, Foggy said that his client was getting threats and like he didn't
No,
want
yeah, no, no, I know. But why would he go ahead with faking his death for that? That's kind of a.
because maybe this was the thing that was ruining his life.
Well, it
I
sounds
mean,
like
look,
Foggy was ruining Matt's life, bro. Matt's up right now.
yeah, no, exactly. So
um,
no, but Daredevil was ruining Matt's life. As soon as Matt stopped being Daredevil, his life went up. So
yeah,
maybe that's why Foggy went along with it.
I don't see that making like if you faked your death just to make my life better, fuck you.
I would
uh,
do it.
nah, fuck you. Uh,
Yeah, no, but if you got like all the honeys, you went into a like sweet ass apartment, you had a great job, and you don't have to get stabbed every day. Yeah, I would fake my own death.
nah, you're a dickhead for that.
Bruh.
I ain't losing my friend for that. Um, plus, I love the violence. I miss it. You know,
Oh no,
it,
that's something we do. We're making jokes about is that Matt has a hard on for violence. He loves it. He's washing his knuckles off in the fucking like courthouse, and he's like, "Yeah, this is so fucking cool. I look like
again,
a boss."
he's not saying any of this, not even on his face, but it's in his mind. We can tell.
We
You
just
know,
know that he's loving it.
we're as blind as Matt, and we can tell. And
Yeah.
this guy loves it, bro. He misses that feeling of washing bloody knuckles and
Oh,
everything. Because when they walked into the room or something, he just smirked at them. He's like, "I know I got these guys. I know I got them."
got
um,
dress.
so yeah, like Matt is gonna, and he's addicted to it. He's
Yeah.
sober right now. I saw someone like word it like he's been sober from violence for a year, and now he's relapsed. And I'm like, damn, that is the perfect way.
Taste.
Oh, that's the perfect way to describe Matt's situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sober from violence, and now he's relapsing. Incredible. Yeah, like. However, for what I just hope that it makes sense why they fake Foggy's death, whatever reason they give. I hope
Yeah.
it's one that
I'm okay
convinces
with him
me.
being dead. Obviously, like I like Foggy as a character a lot, and I did want to see him shine. He had a sweet glow up. But who knows? As long as it makes sense, it could be good.
Yeah,
But with him being dead, it's kind of put Matt in a different situation. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
yeah,
I don't know.
because it again. I really hope I didn't speak about this last week, but Karen really avoids speaking to Matt because she knows because
Yeah.
that Foggy's alive in this theory, and she also knows that hey, if I speak to Matt for too long, he's gonna suss it out because he can tell when I'm lying.
Yeah.
That's why she's in San Francisco. She's as far away as she can get. And he's like, "Yo, stay 5 more minutes. Let's go have a coffee." She's like, "No, no, no. I gotta go. I gotta leave because you're
Yeah.
gonna find out, and I can't have you finding out for whatever reason. Maybe it's like witness protection or some shit. I
Evil
don't know.
Foggy,
We'll find out.
the agent of Hydra.
Fucking hell, man. Like, yeah, we'll find out eventually. We'll find out if this theory is even true. But I feel like it's the only way that like makes sense for why killing off Foggy in the beginning of the first
Before
episode.
the opening credits, bruh.
Yeah, like what the fuck, man? Like, yeah, um, that's the kind of thing you do in the middle or the end of a season. Um, but if it's like part of a larger twist that Foggy's actually alive, then yeah, do it as early as you can. Because then the twist is that it's not a twist or whatever. So yeah, I'm 80% sure in this theory as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm not. This is not one of my predictions, but I am adding it on to
Yeah.
the other two as well. So yeah,
Invincible. We had 2 episodes of Invincible, which were both fucking amazing.
incredible.
Peak fiction. I am so sad that we have to wait until season 4 now, next year for the next.
Uh,
We'll start with episode 7. Is it 7?
yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts
Oh
on that?
man, episode 7 was kind of crazy. I watched this on break at work. Like as soon as I clocked out, I ran downstairs. I brought my iPad with me, and then I put that shit up, and I just watched it.
Put it up.
And then my boss came in and was like, "Hey, we need you back a bit earlier. It's busy." And I'm like, "Fuck!" Right at the end, like I didn't get to see the end until I got home. But regardless, great episode. Like it begins with we go back to season 2, and we see Angstrom living on a thread,
How?
on a fucking
How is it?
thread. This guy was obliterated. He was just a mouth at that point. He was a mouth and a tongue
Think about
and
how
mush.
bad Mark felt about killing Angstrom. Like that's something that deeply affected him, and this guy didn't even die. It's insane.
And he's like got these surgeons waiting for him
How? Yeah, he
on
knew he was
standby.
gonna get fucked.
Yeah, but he's like, just in case. Like, but genius because, yeah, you got
Yeah.
fucked.
He did.
And then, yeah, then he rounds up a bunch of variants of Mark to just come in and invade. I love that the title card was just him like, make them fear Invincible, make them see Invincible, make them hate, and then boom, title card.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking like, should they do the same thing we did last episode with Powerplex and just have it every time he says it be it? But then I was thinking that'd make it a bit less special over there. So I'm fine with it not happening again here.
Yeah.
But speaking of Powerplex, the episode picks up with like Mark still feeling guilty about Powerplex.
Every episode, Mark is feeling guilty about
He's
something.
guilty about some shit,
Yeah.
bro. Like, this guy needs to man up. But also, I'm glad that Powerplex is brought up a lot in this one because when I watched the Powerplex one, I was kind of thinking this kind of feels like a random filler episode
Yeah.
that just so happens to be good because it doesn't seem tied to a story at all. But then now we're back to the main story, and Powerplex is still brought up and everything, and it's weighing on Mark. So it's like, okay, cool.
Especially how like the evil versions of Mark is probably more relevant to what Powerplex was talking about. Like
Yeah,
you guys are all just out for blood, you know, and like
exactly.
it highlights how Cecil, for one, is actually correct about having countermeasures for.
Oh my days,
Yeah.
he's fucking right.
And Powerplex is also correct to some degree.
Like,
Obviously, this guy's not right,
I'll be
but
back on the Cecil in a second. Let
yeah.
me calm down. Because Powerplex later does also.
Leon.
Powerplex does go like, yeah, this is all your fault or whatever.
Also,
And
the Brit is voiced by the guy who plays oh, what's his name?
who's the Brit? Mike?
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, fucking Mike is voiced. The actor of Mike voices the Brit, who is like one of the leaders, in the superhero team in episode 7, and he's the person that goes to calms down Jesse's character, which is
Powerplex.
Powerplex.
Like the Kid Thor and Thingamabob. I didn't write their names down. I don't remember one of them.
Yeah,
But yeah.
the British guy. And yeah, that's like a Breaking Bad little duo. It's quite funny.
Okay, no, yeah, that's cool. Well, I mean, we've got a duo to talk about later as well.
Yeah.
That you're excited about.
I am, yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying? Thinking, yeah. Powerplex, he like saying it's all Mark's fault. Like, don't you see this is all his fault? And he's just kind of just shank shade. He has no idea why this would be Mark's fault, other than just being, it's other Marks in the stories. But to Mark, yeah, he's right, because if I killed Angstrom, this wouldn't be happening.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it does actually tie
How do
in anyway.
you feel about characters like this and their relationship with murder? Like, should like Superman will kill if he has to.
If he has to, yeah, but you won't make a bitchy point about it,
Yeah.
I
It's
mean, other than the Man of
so
Steel,
good.
but that was like his first or whatever, so
You know, that
whatever.
was his first day. We let him off.
Yeah. But yeah, like Mark, get over it, bro. But I know at the same time he does want to end up like his dad,
Yeah.
and seeing Oliver do it so mercilessly, then he's thinking, damn, it's in my blood. If I do allow myself to kill once, what if I kind of like that Batman thing? Like if I allow myself to kill once, I'll become as bad as them and just start killing over time,
Yeah.
which
But
again we'll come back to because
in this
um,
situation, like Angstrom is someone who is responsible for countless deaths at this point.
so much shit.
Yeah.
So just fucking kill him, man. But yeah, anyway,
And he did try, to be fair, the first time.
the Cecil thing,
Yeah.
bro. This episode just goes to show that Cecil was one. If you were on the fence on being on Cecil's side between Cecil and Mark, you were fucking wrong.
Like I
Cecil was 100% right.
I am someone who believes that Cecil shouldn't have put like a bomb in his head. I like that's where I would draw the line.
I think he should have put 3 bombs in his head. Because what if the first one doesn't work? Because apparently no one in this universe can die as easily as you think they can.
Yeah.
Bro, and Oliver, get him when he's going to days like kindergarten or some shit. Grab him and put 5 bombs in his head because he's next. He's a fucking menace that we need to watch out for. But no, yeah, like this just like imagine Mark became one of these guys, which would be so easy
And
based
apparently, like,
on
that's
Cecil's
what's
perspective.
most likely to happen as well. Like Mark is supposed to side with his father.
Yeah, Mark is an
Why?
anomaly in this
It's
multiverse.
our Mark Grayson is not like that. Like, what's different?
It really is just the fact. I think the fact that he got his powers so late.
Right. You know, that's a very good point.
He had so much time to just live as a human
Yeah,
and
human. Yeah.
grow his morals or whatever. Whereas Oliver, he was practically born with his powers, and now look at him.
Yeah, like
Bit
Omni
of a
Man.
little shed.
Yeah, Omni Man wants a kid like Oliver.
Yeah. Bro was begging for a kid like Oliver.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I like that Mark's still feeling guilty about politics, and it ties into his overall guilt he's been feeling this season anyway, and it
Yeah.
kind of like
Heavy theme.
undoes it because before he's been feeling guilty, like damn, I can't believe I had to kill Angstrom.
And he had to
That shit
kill
sucks.
like Immortal as well.
Yeah, and he's
So-
like, "Ugh, I hate having to kill. I hate having to kill," and then this now makes him think,
Oh,
damn,
fuck this.
I kind of. He's right. If I killed him, this wouldn't be a problem. So now he's like conflicted on himself as well. And Stephen Young's voice acting in both these episodes, especially the second one, oh my days, he is a
love
king.
Stephen Young. Like he's so good as Glenn. He's so good in the horror movie Nope. I think he's in Mickey 17 as well, which just came out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really appreciate his. I never like saw him as a voice actor before. But no, yeah, he definitely kills it as Mark. And like I would like to see him play a live action Mark. I know he's a bit older now, but he looks
make
great.
him an older variant.
Yeah, no, like he looks fantastic. How do you feel about the variants of Mark?
Yeah, I actually wrote down every single one just so I
Okay,
could
here we
point
go.
them out and what we learned about them.
Yeah,
So we've got apparently 18 marks. I don't know how many I got down
I
here.
didn't get the chance to rewatch this episode. But yeah, Leon just went through these ones now.
Yeah, let me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, we see 15 clearly enough.
Yeah,
The rest die off screen, and maybe they were like in a big group shot or whatever, but super far away. But yeah, so we've got the Mark who wears. There's 2 Marks that wear the white Viltrumite costume that they all wear. One of them has a mustache.
Space, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, that's the mustache one. And we don't learn anything about him from his backstory.
He went straight to space because Viltrumite, like that's kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, from space. And then we got the other Viltrumite Mark. All we learn about him is that he's apparently killed. He's like fighting one of these wolf guys. Like, I've killed you before. I'll do it again. So we got
I
him.
think he's
So
meant to
that's
be someone else in the comics, maybe. I don't know. I saw like a Instagram reel about it, so I don't know how.
oh, uh, I've seen, yeah, because there's a lot of changes they make in the show,
Yeah.
and apparently this guy survived longer than he normally would or whatever.
Hmm.
And he's like he wouldn't make it this far, but because they didn't introduce him earlier, then it's like, oh, he's here now. But yeah, we've got what I'm calling Omnimark, which is the one that wears the colors of Omni Man.
Really like that design. That's
We
cool.
learn that he's always hated Eve, and he's the one
Yeah.
who snaps her fucking ankle in this episode.
Fuck
Um,
me. When I
and
told you, I was tweaking.
yeah, bro,
He hits
and
the
he just
ground so
slammed
fucking
her into the
hard.
ground as
Yeah.
well. She's never been hit that hard, man. She was in the hospital for a week.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He was not
Um,
walking it off.
and he's also killed Debbie and hates coming
Yeah.
back to his house.
That's
Um,
pretty. That's very different.
yeah, he's not the only one who's killed Debbie, but he's one of the only ones that explicitly says
He
it.
seemed quite prideful about it.
And then we've got the yellow and black Mark with the cape. He's apparently killed Nolan in
Yeah,
his
that's quite
dimension.
interesting. I'm pretty sure we saw him as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in season 2 we went to his world or
Yeah.
something. And then we got the Mohawk Mark, who he I think also killed Debbie, and he makes fun of the other one for
Oh
missing her.
yeah.
He's like, oh, you miss your mommy.
He's kind of a dick.
Then we got the Slaver in the Mark.
Hey,
um,
yo.
his costume is just like the regular classic Invincible, but it has the Viltrumite logo on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like beating up someone. He's like, "Huh, you wouldn't even be a slave in my empire." And
Yeah.
every time he speaks, he's yelling. This guy's angry. That's his personality trait.
Piss
He's
the
just
fuck
angry.
off. Yeah.
Then you got the weird testicle-looking Mark, who like
Hey,
has
yo.
goggles on his face, like built in, and he's all wrinkly and ugly looking. We learned that he was in a Viltrumite prison for a year, for something, and then we got the Mark whose mask covers up his hair, which
Right.
I
Yeah.
gotta say that does wonders to make Mark look more evil just on its own. Because like the
Looks
eyes do
weird
a
to
lot
look
of work,
Yeah.
and then covering up the hair as well. Boom, he just looks like a villain. Then you got the Mark whose mask is like a loose, like drapey thing, like a curtain mask. His whole shtick is that he just swears a bunch, and the Omnimark,
Make him cool.
yeah, and Omnimark's like, swearing doesn't make you cool, man. Shut up. He's like, fuck off. um, and then you got there's a Mark who like his costume is basically identical except he doesn't have the goggles. He loves to fight, and the Omni Man of his dimension killed the majority of the new Guardians as well as the old ones. Because he tells them, like, "Oh, my dad killed most of you guys back on my world," and he's never even met the Martian dude. There's no Martian on his dimension.
Okay.
Ben Schwartz's character. Then you've got a Mark who just doesn't wear a mask at all, and his costume has like got slight tweaks or whatever. He misses William, and
Hey.
there you go. And then you got a long hair Mark we learned nothing about.
Oh yeah. I like
His
that.
design looked cool though. And then you've got one that his goggles kind of like connect, and his forehead's exposed. In his universe, Robot doesn't have Rex's young body. He's still just the ugly sludge thing. Um, and he's also the one that fights Rex, which we'll talk about later. And then we've got another Mark that has just like a yellow and blue costume, but it's more yellow. It's a bit different. And then
Is
you
that the
got
one who killed Immortal?
no. The one that killed Immortal was the goggleless one
Ah,
that lost the
yes.
fight. And
Goggleless.
then the last one I could make note of was I called Mask Mark. And in fact, in the subtitles they called him Masked Invincible. But yeah, he's the one that he's fully covered up. Looks a bit like Spider-Man in that sense. And he never killed his mom, but she did end up dying, and he misses her.
Yeah, I really like that costume design more than the one we have for this season because I think it's on the arms. There's colors, different color on the bicep area, and I think that works a lot better than the one we got now.
Yeah, the one we got now, I kind of
I don't love it all that much.
I don't mind it, but I just wish I don't like the shade of blue on it either or anything, and
Mm.
the fact that this show doesn't have any like pure blacks. Everything's always just like a super dark gray, whereas in the comic it's pure black, and then it is a different shade of blue in the comic as well. In fact, Mohawk Mark has a more accurate shade of blue in that. But anyway, the color palette in the comics is better overall anyway than the show.
Yeah.
The show is kind of slightly desaturates things, but regardless, it doesn't. I'm not losing sleep over it. But it does take away some of the sauce from the comic version of this blue suit. But yeah, so that's all the marks. And there was some, I don't want to say controversy. It was just like a bit of like a discussion on Twitter about how someone pointed out like, crazy how Robert Kirkman made 18 Invincibles and not a single one of them was a woman. And
black.
well, that too actually. But in my mind,
woman.
I'm thinking that would go against Angstrom's plan.
Yeah.
His whole point was that he wants to show the world invincible, destroying them, you know? So why would he pick a chick that would only vaguely look like Mark? It would completely defeat the purpose. So that's why. Simple as, really.
People just like to complain.
People just love to complain. Not that we can say much, but these people have to complain with no basis. But yeah, so that's all the marks. And Stephen Young voices all of them, and he does a good job of making some of them sound really unique.
No, yeah, unhinged in many ways as well.
Yeah. We got this plot point that Mark and Eve's parents still haven't met, and they've been meaning to meet so many times, but Eve keeps canceling for some reason. She always finds a good reason to cancel, and he's like, "Well, come on, I want to meet him." She's like, "No, but my parents are the worst." Like, yeah, I know what bad parents are like. And she's like, "Oh yeah, my bad." So yeah, and then we got. Oh man, and then right at the end of the conversation, they get called in to fight the Marks, and Mark like takes down the Mohawk one for a second. Then the other three heroes come in, Kid, Thor, Britt, and the other dude, and they just start wailing on Mark because he thinks he's one of them. How is Mark losing this fight, man? These guys are B-listers, man. Fucking hell, what's going on? This guy, Mark, take a fighting lesson, please. Go to karate or some shit. I can't keep struggling like this. It's embarrassing. Ruining the name, Invincible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually just, it's getting kind of annoying, to be honest.
It's intentional this season.
It must be. Next season, he better fuck up everyone. But yeah. Powerplex breaks out, and we've got him just like, oh yeah, there's two of you, not for long. And he just starts trying to kill the other Mark, and then he just goes out and just fights them all or whatever. He does kill one that we see. We don't know which one because he's just ash by the time we see him. And yeah, it's good that he gets that out of his system.
He's got a taste for it now.
Yeah, and then well, my next point was going to be Cecil was right, but we've already gone over that. But yeah, we do actually find out that these variants are weaker because I guess none of these have trained with Cecil, which makes sense because they all turned evil and turned against him.
Turns out that Cecil's training actually does pay off. It doesn't seem that way, but
because Mark never fucking throws a punch as hard as he should. But yeah,
I was always under the impression that like Mark holding back is what's really laying him down, whereas these Marks don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
and they just lack that humanity.
And yet they're still weaker than this Mark as well.
Yeah.
Because Mark's fighting them without the intent to kill, and he still beats them.
This is annoying me because Eve gets injured during the one of the fights with Omnimark, and he sits like the rest of the battle out. He's just at Eve's bed. And like, I understand that your girlfriend just got injured, but dude, if there's anyone which can actually make a difference right now, it's you, Mark. Lock in.
People out there are dying.
Even his little brother is like out there fighting. So that kind of annoyed me a little bit.
Like, fucking hell, Mark, lock in, man. People out there are dying because you're doing nothing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Great power with great responsibility. You never learned that? Come on, it's Hero 101.
Yeah. So that was upsetting.
And like Cecil even points out, like, you have to explain that to Eve when she wakes up. She's not going to be happy. He's like, I don't care. And like, oh my days, bro. Get the fuck up.
I really do enjoy Mark's character, but like, there's parts of it.
I'm struggling.
Really letting me down. So yeah, that annoyed me a bit. What else you got?
Yeah. Then we got we get this random callback. At least I'm pretty sure it's a callback. Because I haven't seen the first 2 seasons in a while. But Kahor, the mummy. I'm pretty sure that was a one-off episode
From
before,
some
wasn't
one
it?
thing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and we see these two ladies come out as well, and I'm pretty sure we were following them into it. I don't remember when we last saw this, but I was pretty sure I was like, I feel like I should know this guy. He's like, yes, I've found someone to possess him, and Mug just takes him off him and flies off. He's like,
Just shows.
no, I can't exist outside my tomb. He just crawls back in. Uh, it's just really funny.
Funny.
It was a nice moment of levity in this dramatic episode.
So fleshed out. There's always this random bullshit which is going on in the sidelines.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of being a fleshed out world, I love that we get to see so many superheroes now. Now that we're not just focused on Mark, because he is actually taking a back seat. We see so many superheroes out here fighting all the evil Invincibles. A lot of them dying. A lot of them winning. Like, the one in space was on her own, and she beat Mustache Mark. She just had, like, a laser helmet thing. Good for her. And so many others. Which, again, these are weaker Marks, apparently, but how did they win then on their universes if they're losing to random jabronis on this one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I was rewatching episode 1 of Invincible literally last night, and I don't think that Mark would be able to take on the original Guardians of the Globe, you know? Like, they seem like a proper unit. They were
You could barely take on 3 B-listers in this one. Yeah, of course not.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't know how these other Marks did it. Obviously, Omni-Man was probably there to help, but yeah, it's a fucking good thing they didn't bring alternate Omni-Mans in.
Well, yeah.
And we'd all be fucked.
It's a good thing Angstrom was very specific. Like, no, I want only Marks, because it would be really funny to tear down his image. Instead of just being like, why don't I just bring in all the strongest people to destroy his planet? But, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be harder to manipulate other Nolans to come in and help him, because these ones he came in, he said, I'll do you guys a deal, and then he turned on them anyway. Maybe Nolan wouldn't be so like that. Like, no, give me what I want first, and then I'll help you. And like, ugh, can't argue with you guys. Fuck you. I'm gonna go look for your sons instead.
Yeah.
And then we get Mark and Eve versus 2 different Omnimans. We get, I think it's the curtain mask one, and Omnimark. And man, they are like teaming up on him, which is not fair, and giving him the work. But then Mark like kind of like locks in and takes them both on and beats them both up, which again shows how strong Mark is compared to these guys. Poor Eve though, she's meant to be like the strongest character in the show.
She's not,
and she gets fucked.
No,
she just puts up shields all the time and does nothing else.
See, in this Atom Eve like special episode, she's doing some crazy shit. I've never seen her reach that level again, and like that was even her as a kid, so pretty wild.
Yeah, I saw people say like, oh, maybe because as a kid she had more creativity and imagination. Now she's lived the harshness of reality, and it's kind of killed that spark of creativity, whatever. But I'm like,
if you're gonna die, like if you know you're gonna fight a Viltrumite, you want to bring your best game, and
and even if she doesn't have to be making creative constructs, but like you don't have to make like a big mace and a big hand, or you just make a big thing and smack them with it. Don't just keep putting up shields and little energy blasts. Like that's what I'm annoyed about.
Anything anyway.
Yeah, like it's really annoying. It
seemed to be like a brief distraction.
Yeah. This is all until the next episode, but we're talking about just this one.
We'll get there.
But yeah, in this one, she loses horribly and gets her, like we said earlier, she gets her leg grabbed and snapped. And then just yeeted to the ground. Oh my days!
So fucking hard, it's insane. I do like the idea that if a Viltrumite gets their hands on you, then you're done. Like
there's really nothing you can do.
Yeah. And it's pretty scary to think about how powerful the Mark and even Oliver really are.
Yeah, because once they're holding you,
they
can snap you, they can throw you, they can rip you in half, they can do anything they want to you.
And her leg like popped off like a gecko.
Yeah, and it was like in a split moment. Look, she's floating up whilst he grabs her and then snaps her, all within the second that he grabbed her.
When I tell you, it scared me so much.
really puts into perspective that how what Mark could be doing out here all the time, and he just isn't.
And
Uh,
he's not locking in.
and then we see some of the Guardians fighting off one Mark, which was the one with the exposed forehead or whatever, and Rex is fighting him, and he tells everyone, "Guys, leave me behind. Say sorry to Shrinking Ray that I didn't help her move." He's like,
Yeah.
idiots. Boom, and he's fighting, and he's actually holding his own.
He does
At first, it
surprisingly
seems like he is.
well. Yeah.
His power is pretty versatile. I don't know why he doesn't
Ever
use it better
thought
than that.
it before, but yeah, he's he does good.
He's kind of like
Very
Gambit.
competent. Yeah, yeah, just very heavily influenced by Gambit. But the thing is, like from the start of the episode, he's moving in with Ray. Oh, he's not moving in with Ray. He's like helping Ray move,
Yeah,
and he's just charming, and he's just having the fucking best time. And then he sees like commotion in the distance, and he's just like, you know what? I'll be right back. Brother was
yeah.
not coming back. I
He
knew.
never
I
came back.
knew.
This season's been building him up
Yeah,
so
too
nicely,
much.
bro. I knew he
Yeah,
was dead.
yeah, he was so cooked.
All the character development for fucking nothing, bro. Like,
Yeah, and it's
I'm sad, man.
really upsetting. He blew up his whole fucking skeleton. And apparently, my friend. So I watched this with my friend River, and he's read all of the Invincible comics, and
hmm
he was telling me how like that line, like I think the dickhead like isn't added in there. It's just my skeleton, and then he dies. So that's an interesting change.
My entire goddamn skeleton, dickhead.
Yeah,
No, I like that more.
yeah,
It
exactly.
feels a lot more
That's what he would say.
like him as well.
Yeah, and that killed. Did that kill the Mark?
Yes, it did. It
Damn,
did. Thankfully,
that is
which
insane. He's powerful enough to bring down a Viltrumite.
yeah, but has to bring himself
Yeah,
down with it.
with him, but that's think about his power level. It's insane.
Yeah, like and then I don't know how fuck like he just touches something and then he loads up with energy and then it blows up. But like, how big does the thing have to be before it doesn't work anymore? Because like he grabs a piece of the wall, but like he only takes off the like debris off the wall. What if you just charge up the whole wall? How strong would that be? That's bigger than your skeleton,
What
you
he's
know?
dead now.
We'll never find out. What if
Yeah,
he went up and like touched the Statue of Liberty and then blew that up? Would that like destroy New York? Like
maybe
because this explosion of just his skeleton was pretty
that
fucking
was
big.
fucking huge. Yeah. Well, maybe it's a. I don't know. Actually, I do not know.
And if he can do organic matter like a skeleton, you're making me say it like that now, like a skeleton.
Didn't he blow up Mark?
Why did you just grab Mark and blow him up? Like I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how this power works.
Now that we've thought
Um,
about it for more than 2 seconds, I am confused.
I'm a bit yeah. And
Yeah.
if it works on your skeleton, why doesn't it just work on your body as well? Why not just touch yourself and then you have your whole body blow up?
Rex does a lot of that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm a bit confused on his power, but that doesn't take away from the moment. It was a great moment.
Fuck me. We had
And
that, and we had
sad music playing and
same,
everything.
same week. I'm just not ready.
Yeah, man.
It's cold blooded.
Sad week, man.
It's a
And
tough week to be the goat.
yeah, and yeah, it's a shame. And then Mark's still out there, just like still in there with Eve, doing fuck all.
He could have been saving Rex, bro.
He could have. He doesn't even find out Rex died until much later.
Yeah.
And then you've got. I mean, again, I'm glad we got to see other superheroes in action because of it, but I don't think that was required for that. I think we could have got both.
We also had Immortal's death again.
Yeah, he dies again, and then he comes back to life, and he retires.
Yeah.
And he wants to live with Kate
Sure,
and
he's
have
old.
kids. But it's funny because when we saw Future Immortal, he's like, "Who the fuck's Kate, bro? I've had so many girlfriends, so many families, and they've all died, man."
Is that the redhead? They're true.
Yeah.
That's my favorite fucking line.
So this moment, like, it's kind of bittersweet because yeah, he wants to settle down with Kate, but we know it's not gonna last
Yeah.
because he will last longer than it, and he'll forget it eventually.
Yeah.
So is it even worth it? But at the same time, maybe to him it is worth it, you know? Even
What
though
if
love is
it,
temporary,
he's
it's
gonna
better
be
than nothing.
brutal?
Apparently not, because
Hmm.
by of a future time, he has no kids to speak of. They all die. Or maybe he just never had kids. But I doubt it. I feel like he would want someone, a
Got
companion
a
with him.
portal sperm. Come on, we know.
Right? It's a recessive trait. I don't know. It doesn't work out.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got Immortal retiring and everything, as well as Kate. But then now it's
Boo.
time for Angstrom versus Mark. It's been
Okay.
3 days of this war. He
It's
rounds them
been
all up, and he's like, "No,
heavily like anticipated
yeah."
well. Like they've been
And he sends the other Marks away because they're about 10 on him. He's like, "Oh, I thought that'd take longer, but oh well." And then C's like, "Yo,"
expression.
and he's like, "Mark, we found him." And he's like, "Bet," and he just flies out looking for him, and they start fighting. They start throwing hands. Angstrom's brought in these like drones that like it reminds me of Big Hero 6.
Yeah, yeah. I
He's
was
got these just like
thinking that.
waves of drones, which are the same ones that have been spying on Mark this entire time. They're also a weapon, um, and which I guess says a lot. Like the fact that his tool for like spying on Mark's life and everything is also his weapon, is the greatest weapon. I would say in both ways.
You just get TV.
Mate, what can I say? And we get a sick moment where like Mark is like about to get pushed into a portal from his wave, 3 portals worth of waves of drones.
Is something the portal thing is like a really bad like that was stressing me out when I was watching it because I was like, if he goes through the portal, he's not coming back, you know?
He's fucked
He's stuck
again,
again,
you
yeah.
know. And then
And
I'm
he's
glad he learned his
locked
lesson.
in, yeah.
By the way, every time he flew at him and he opened up a portal last season, he just kept falling into them. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my days, bro. I'm glad
Exactly.
this time he learned to not do that.
Yeah.
But then he gets like this shonen anime moment where he just, through pure willpower, he just forces his way through,
Yeah.
and then he just beats the shit out of Angstrom and holds on to him. Oliver comes in and chirps up like, "Kill him! Fucking kill him!" Like, look what he did. He
Yeah.
deserves death.
And also, we've established, like, in the other episode, that Oliver, because of his bug DNA, he remembers everything from being a kid,
Yeah.
which means that he remembers Angstrom hurting Debbie as a baby. So, from his point of view, this is someone that deserves to die, you know?
Yeah.
And you know what? He's kind of right.
I'm on his side.
Yeah.
This guy's a little shit, but sometimes he's right,
But
And in this
because
case, he is.
Mark hesitated,
Yeah.
he escapes again.
At least he rips his arm off, but that's obviously not enough. But
Yeah.
it does lead to a really cool scene where, he's bleeding out because his arm's just been ripped off. And
And
then his technicians, they're like, "No, we're not going to heal you up this time." It's like, what do
nah,
you mean? That's what you guys do. You heal me up. That's why I got you here for. Like, no. We had a deal, and you haven't done it. So
you failed. So now,
you're going to listen to us, or you're going to die here.
yeah,
Fuck. And yeah, eventually we see that he does have to. He gets a nice, cool robot arm, and then they're like, "Yeah, we want a new world, and we want so much more." What that is, we'll find out. I mean, this scene is from the next episode, but I might as well bring it up now.
yeah.
And yeah, we don't know what that's going to be until we get there. But yeah, so we've got. Oh, I like that when Mark's out there like trying to help rebuild New York, or not rebuild, just like look for casualties and whatever. Powerplex just is there, turns on him, and then he's like doing his typical spiel, he's yelling at him, whatever. Oliver comes in and just shuts him up.
Yeah.
He just punches him and just cuts him off mid sentence. I loved it because at this point it was getting a bit annoying. But yeah, and then they lock him away, and you're like, "Don't you guys see? It's all his fault." And like, yeah, you're kind of right, but you don't know why you're right. You're just saying that to say that.
He's just out for hate. Like
It ends up being right, but like you don't know that.
you didn't have that shit.
Come on, bro. But yeah, and then we meet. No, Mark gets to meet Eve's parents finally. Eve's dad fucking sucks as per usual.
Sucks.
And I've seen a comic panel from later on. This guy's a piece of shit. In the most human way possible, he is the biggest fucking piece of shit. But I will leave that for when it in a year's time when the season comes out.
Okay.
But yeah, Eve's mum, she's leaning towards becoming better. And we get a call back to Valerie, which, like you brought up the Adam's Eve special. Eve's little childhood friend who
Yeah.
dies, and then Eve brings her back to life when she goes into her super maximum mode, whatever the fuck. Um, yeah, she ends up dying in this Invincible war. She wasn't a superhero. She had nothing to do with this, and she just ended up dead.
Yeah.
So why should they feel so bad that Eve's putting herself in danger out there when she can defend herself more than a regular person who can also die out there, regardless? You know?
She's like, you know what? Our daughter's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, and then the dad's staring at her, and she's like, "Oh, I should go." Like,
Yeah.
ugh, fat fuck. Anyway, and then Cecil comes to Mark and is like, "Yo, I want you to be the new Guardians of the Globe leader." And he's like, "Fuck no, we're not working together again." He's like, "Exactly, Mark. You don't listen to me. That's what we need."
Come
He's
on.
like, "No, man, I ain't doing it." And he's like, "Look, man, you've gone through a lot right now. If you need anyone to talk to," he's like, "No, you're the last one to talk to."
Dude.
But thanks for reaching out. I'm declining your offer, but I appreciate that you gave me the offer, and I like that.
Yeah. I hope that their relationship gets mended, especially
Yeah,
in the second episode. Got things to say.
and then the episode ends with Mark, out here doing his thing, helping people in New York, finding dead bodies and shit, and then down comes
Negan.
Conquest, voiced by
Jeffrey D. Morgan. Oh my God. When I tell you, like, I heard this guy and it was just like, it's Negan and Glenn. He's back for round two. This guy is
yeah,
even young ops in every universe.
and
And
yeah, man,
he is out for blood. And Mark is straight, like, yapping. He's like, you know what? I want to hit something really fucking hard right now. And bro could not handle that.
he couldn't handle all that Conquest,
Bro
bro. Like
could not handle it.
he
Like
was
at
getting
all.
fucked.
Okay, yeah. So episode 8. What a fucking episode, man. When I tell you, it was like a roller coaster for me. it it's well into it. The its title card comes down like straight away, and Conquest and Mark they're going at it. And Conquest was really toying with Mark at the start of that fight because
Yeah,
he just loves the game. He just loves to fucking fight this guy, and he's really like holding back until the moment when it switches, and then you're like, oh, okay, Conquest is a real fucking problem.
oh my days, this guy is a.
He's a menace. So like Mark is hitting
That's
him
what I wrote. I
hard.
wrote Conquest is a menace out for blood.
He's hitting him as hard as he can, and then he flies, matches Mark's speed, and continues to mock him. Like that is criminal.
That is embarrassing, bro. Like
Yeah.
that.
Like
Oh my
bro's
days.
flight is sending shockwaves through the planet. Like his blood is being poured onto the floor and it's rumbling as Conquest is coming at him. It is insane.
Yeah, I love that part when
Like
they're in
it's way
space
worse than Omni Man.
and Conquest spits out a little blood bubble and then he turns it into a heart. He's just taking the piss for no reason. And Mark's like, huh?
Like
And then Conquest just comes and punches him anyway.
Oliver can't even keep up. That's
Oh
how
my
crazy
days.
fast they're going.
He
Like,
Oliver got fucked, bro.
dude, he
Like
got bitch slapped so hard. It's insane.
almost all of his teeth came out, bro. Like he spat out half of his mouth.
And
Like
we were watching this.
know,
Yeah, I was watching this River.
Tooth Fairy's wet dream right there. It all just came out, bro.
Yeah,
He's getting some money under his pillow tonight, bro. He's gonna be rich.
I was watching it with someone. It's like, yeah, Oliver has never lost a fight this way before. Oliver's never been beaten before to the point where all of his teeth get knocked out. He's definitely a Grayson now.
Yeah, he's finally part of the team, bro.
He understands it.
Uh,
Yeah. There's so many things about that fight which are just like this is the worst case scenario.
yeah, the animation in this one went up for this episode, and I'm glad it did. But I felt the impact I finally felt the speed that these characters
Scene
go
where
at.
Mark's hair is like messy, he's bloody, and he's trying to reason with him.
He's
And
like, please,
Conquest is
stop,
like,
stop, stop, stop.
you know
His hair
what?
flows around and everything.
I don't fucking care about the Viltrum Empire. I just like to fight.
Yeah, he's like, don't beg for mercy, because that means I
I
have to
don't care.
stop.
Yeah.
And I don't want to stop. You know, it's fucking, oh my days.
Yeah.
There's that sick part where Mark's like on the ground and the camera's looking up at him, and he's got a nice shadow on him and everything. And then the camera kind of dolly zooms at the same time. It like goes past him, and you see Conquest fly down, smack into him, go through buildings into a truck that explodes.
Yeah.
And that whole sequence was amazing.
Beautiful.
Oh my days.
There's also parts where like Mark hits Conquest as hard as he fucking can, and Conquest like just stops falling. Like he just stops the fucking impact.
Yeah, he just deads it. Boom.
Yeah, he just
tanks it completely.
Yeah, and it's just like, damn.
This guy's
Like it
fucking
reminds
strong.
me of like those scenes in like No Way Home when Spider-Man is punching Green Goblin as hard as he fucking can, and he's just laughing at it. Like that. Where do you go from there?
There's nothing you can do, man.
You can do.
That was sap all the confidence out of me right away. I'm like, and I'm fucked.
Seeing Mark like get desperate when Oliver and Eve enter the fight as well, like adds to the, you know how bad Conquest is. Because like Mark is stressed the fuck out as soon as his brother goes into the fight. As soon as Eve shows up, he's like, "Get out of here," you know. And you know what? It's a really good thing that Eve did show up, because she was straight throwing hands, bruh.
Yeah, everything we said about her last episode, that's taken back when we watch this one, because she finally remembers, oh yeah, I am the strongest character on this planet.
Yeah,
and she does some sick ass shit. She makes some armor for herself.
Yeah,
and every construct. Sorry, Karen.
She makes the air like dense around Conquest.
Yeah. Oh my days.
You.
I love that. She could just increase air density. She doesn't use that enough, bro. She used it once, and she's like, like, that's good enough for me.
And like,
no, do it again.
Tired as well. I like that aspect. But yeah, she was. I'm telling you, if Mark and Eve have a kid, they're making some really strong fucking power.
Oh my days, they're making the strongest kid in the fucking universe.
Because I was really impressed with all that.
Yeah, all her constructs. As soon as they break, the like shards form back together to make another construct and hit him again.
It reminds me of
it's amazing.
The Doctor Strange Thanos fight where like they're really like going at it, and she's really desperately like trying to get hits in, and it's working as well because Mark's leg gets fucking broken, bro. And at that point, I'm like, Mark, lock in, please.
Yeah.
And like, bare chatting shit about how he doesn't have like a Viltrumite heart at all. And like how he's like, oh, you know, I killed your fucking dad. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And then Mark Conquest hits Eve so bad. He murks her.
Oh my God.
And I tell you, I was screaming at the fucking TV. Like, he gets hit in the face. Her stomach is out of her body. And I
wrote, he fucks her face.
Yeah.
All caps in my notes.
It's so bad.
She looks hideous.
Oh my God.
Sends his arm through her stomach. Her guts are spilling out.
God. And I'm just like, Negan hates this guy again. Man. And fucking Mark locks in finally. And he punches this guy so hard, he breaks his own arm.
Yeah, he breaks Conquest's robot arm and his own hand. Because they're just both so strong.
He bit him.
Yeah, he chewed out of his fucking like shoulder blade or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
That's a Walking Dead reference. Because like Rick Grimes bites someone's throat out in season 5. So
yeah, I wonder if it's in the comic. But
I don't know if it's a comic thing or not.
Oh man, I love when
he's vile.
When like Eve is like essentially dead, Stephen Young's voice acting goes up again.
Yeah.
And then he says like, I can see the future. You don't live to see tomorrow. And it's like, oh, that's a cool fucking line. That was sick. That was fucking sick. And then they break each other's hands. And then like they're fighting. Conquest still ends up winning again.
Yeah.
And then he actually opens up to Mark.
He starts trauma dumping on this bitch.
Yeah.
It is like insane.
no one in my species talks to me.
Like,
I'm an outsider. I don't even get a name. They call me Conquest. That's my purpose, you know? And you're the only one who knows this. Take it to your grave. And then Eve, reborn like a phoenix, comes out and shoots a fucking unibeam maximum pulse. And at first I thought Conquest died from it. Turns out,
his
no.
skin came off.
Yeah, he's fucking skinned alive. But then Mark, with no hands, kills Conquest with headbutts.
It
He
is
headbutts him to death.
insane. I have never seen this before.
Oh my days. And this
And
is after, we forgot to mention the beach massacre.
oh, dude, he
Where Conquest
you know when
does the same thing
Omni-Man,
Omni-Man did to
yeah,
him in season 1 with the train.
it's
But he
so
just takes him through a beach, through a
like
city, through
children.
these buildings,
Wow.
mercilessly killing these people. We're gonna get a second powerplex from that, bro. Like, someone just out there with his brother and nephew, and then boom, they just fly by.
So I was watching it with someone who's read all of Invincible, and something that is interesting is that I guess slight spoiler. Um, Apparently Mark does have adrenaline, and Viltrumites don't. So Mark does actually get stronger with like fear and rage.
Yeah, that's interesting because Conquest does say that. It's like,
Yeah, that's what.
you're angry, but you're not stronger. And then Mark just starts fucking his face up. He's like, huh, what the? You know?
Yeah, so
So,
Mark it does have like a leg up on other Viltrumites, which hopefully we do get to see.
we saw that when in season 2, I think, when Mark and Nolan are teaming up against those other two, and then Mark like locks in a bit and he gets angry, more adrenaline, and then he starts
Yeah,
winning the fight that he was losing a second ago, which
yeah,
happens a lot with him. Not enough, I think, because he keeps losing these fights anyway. But still,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, and this is clearly inspired by something from Dragon Ball Z, where the equivalent of Viltrumites there are the Saiyans, and then the main character has a kid with a human, and they have a hybrid child, and that kid also has incredible potential, and anytime he gets angry, his power skyrockets beyond where it should be, and he's like the strongest character in the show for a while.
Okay.
Only in these brief, fleeting moments
Yeah.
until he locks in a story arc for him. But yeah, so that's what Mark's got here clearly,
Hmm.
and I can't wait to see him utilize that a bit more often. But yeah, we see. Oh wait, when Eve like woke up and saw that Mark is getting fucked over, and she got up immediately, broke out, and they're like, "Yeah, wait, you can't walk." He's like, "Do I look like I need to fucking walk? I can fly."
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Um,
that was great.
Even like Mark's recovery and how he wants to see the body. Also, you take off their head, Mark. If you're fighting anyone, just decapitate that bitch because they're
Yeah,
gonna come
because
back.
Conquest ended up looking just like Angstrom did. Like
And
he was
he
just a tongue and
still
teeth
came
and
back.
mush.
Bro.
He's still alive. Like we said, he killed him. He's still alive. And Cecil has no intention of killing him.
Yeah.
He's like, no, let's keep him. Let's find out about the Viltrum Empire.
Worst idea.
Mark's like, burn his body. He's like, yep, he didn't do it. He of course didn't fucking do it. I wrote down, burn Conquest's body, brackets, probably won't. And then later, he's still alive? Fuck.
Insane. It takes a lot to fucking kill these Viltrumites then.
Yeah. I thought like Cecil would just use his body for parts for these new Zombots they're
Yeah,
making
so the Zombots
with
are
the
Mark's.
Invincible variants.
That's really smart idea on Cecil's front.
Yeah, and watch how Mark's gonna have a problem with it for some bullshit reason or whatever. He's
Yeah.
a little bitch. But yeah, that's gonna be sick. He's gonna have an army of Invincibles basically.
Yeah, so we've got like a whole lot of like promising things for
Yeah.
stuff to come. The Sequids, are they called? The brain
Oh yeah, the Martian like
yeah, the Martian
thingies.
things there.
They've got like an army downstairs.
Yeah.
We get like a bunch of like kind of like a Return of the King Part 2 type of ending where it's just like you see all these things setting up like it's a series of post-credit scenes before the credits.
Yeah.
Just
I
everything
really
that
like
we're going to see in season 3.
Yeah.
4, sorry.
Dark Blood came back as well, so that's quite cool.
Mhm.
Season 1.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown. I love this guy's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else did we see? Do you have any notes?
Oh well, I was gonna point out how like, bro, Mark can't kill shit. He
Oh
can't
yeah.
kill to save his life because we thought he killed Angstrom, he didn't. We thought he killed Conquest, he didn't. This guy just doesn't know how
No.
to kill people, bro. He's not good at nothing.
Head. Oh, Rex.
Um.
You know what as well? Actually, is another thing.
Oh yeah, Rex
Bro
is
does
you know.
not care. He's just bare
Yeah,
making out and like fucking Eve, like straight up.
yeah. They just went off and had sex, which was the same day, the same hour, probably. That was a
It
bit
was
weird.
sad.
Um. But yeah, and like it hits Eve really hard, and she's like, because he was her first boyfriend and her first everything,
Yeah,
and she didn't get to see him enough after he had grown as a person. She didn't
that's something which is
take
really
advantage of that time.
depressing. You know, like when you lose someone, all you do is wish that you had more time with them.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a shame for that. And what's it called? Robot renames himself to
Oh
Rex because
man,
he's already using his
they
his body anyway.
this is a callback to season two's finale when Mark is trapped in the alternate dimension. Robot is referred to as Rex in that scene.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah. So yeah, he's dead in that universe too, man.
yeah.
I mean, they probably even said that. We just don't remember.
A bunch of Invincibles came and killed us.
It was crazy, man. He blew up his skeleton. It's
Yeah.
kind of fucking awesome. Um, but yeah, and that's the universe where Mark and Eve didn't get together, which means Mark wasn't waiting in the hospital around for her, and Rex still died.
Damn.
So maybe we were chatting shit then
Yeah.
when we said he should have been out there.
That's all we do.
Yeah. And then we've got, even though Mark failed to kill Conquest again, unlike when he failed to kill Angstrom and thought he did, he has no guilt this time. In fact, he's bloodthirsty now. And he tells Oliver, you were right. Anyone who threatens our family, I'm not going to hesitate to kill him. And I'm glad we're finally going to get this like black suit Spider-Man arc for Mark, which is what apparently this blue suit is for him. We just haven't seen it yet.
The
But
thing
now
is,
we're
like,
starting it.
I don't see this as like a negative thing, really. I just see it as a different way of life for Mark. Because clearly he's just been trying too hard and like not killing people. But I don't like I see Mark and I see someone who tries his very best to do what's right. And I don't think that him being open to the idea of killing people now is bad.
Yeah. It's just because you don't need to kill everyone,
No, I know
but
what he's saying. Yeah, he's just trying. He's just had enough. He just doesn't want the people he loves to die.
yeah, like
And look how many
just
people died recently.
when applicable,
They used his
don't wait
body.
around.
They used
Just do it.
Mark's body to kill people.
Again. That's the
I know.
second time.
It would fuck you up for life.
Man. Poor Mark, man. Like,
Really goes through some crazy. And like Debbie even says it to Mark. Like she's disgusted about how much he wanted powers and how much they waited and anticipated for him to get powers, and look how it's ruined his life. And yeah,
yeah.
I get it. Like as a parent, that would really fucking suck.
It's like if, as a parent, you were like really onto your kid to get like their driver's license or some shit. And then they end up crashing, you
Yeah,
know? And
exactly.
you're the one who pushed them to get it and everything and to go out and drive and have fun, whatever, and boom. Like that would suck as a parent.
Would. Okay, so as a whole, how do you rate season three of Invincible?
Season 3, man, was its highs were high. And I wouldn't say it had many lows other than just like Mark being annoying. This season was my like where I liked Mark the least. But I don't think we saw enough of Omni-Man and Alan, the alien.
Yeah, that's something which I said immediately after it ended, but you know what?
Yeah,
That's okay.
because but hopefully, yeah, we see more of that later.
Yeah.
In a year. At this point, I just read the comic, but I know the comic and the show have differences.
Yeah.
So
That's something which I thought about. I was like, you know what, I could do it. Um, when the source material, like when the adaptation is so good that you want to go and read the source material, you know they cooked.
Exactly. Yeah, literally. Um,
Like The Walking Dead is barely The Walking Dead. TV show and comic, they're wildly different. But this does seem like they can't go wrong if they just copy what's already been done.
yeah,
Like, I am not afraid for Invisible season 4.
yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah,
We're, we're in a good place with that show.
we've had
And
a lot of good content recently.
yeah. And now, I mean, now this brings to an end the us talking about Invincible on the pod, because this has been here even when Spider-Man was on the air and everything. And now Spider-Man's over and now Invincible's over. So now we just have Daredevil
Yeah, we've got Lost
for
of
a
Us
good few
Part
weeks.
2 coming.
Yeah, that'll be coming up.
Another TV show to talk about.
Yeah, but hopefully this means next week, if we've only got Daredevil to talk about, then
Marvel's Phase 5.
we can finally talk about Phase 5. Because I think we've run over the
Yeah,
time we need for today.
yeah, I think we're on track.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I've got for today.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Robert Kirkman, thank you. Again, animators and voice actors, it's just such a beautiful art. The storytelling is incredible. I fucking love Invincible season 3.
Yeah.
Every
Actually,
episode was fire.
I just remembered I do have something to close off the episode. I do have a blind ranking.
Oh, okay.
I just have to go find it in one
Hit
second.
me with it.
It's in my notes somewhere. But yeah, okay, here we go. So
Alright.
this will be a movies one. This was the anticipation of us talking about Phase 5. So I actually have Phase 5 Marvel movies here, but I'm going
Okay.
to say them in a random order so
Right.
that you can actually. And I'm going to actually. You know what? That makes no sense. Hang on. All right, I'm redoing this. I'm scrap everything I just said, but keep it in.
We'll fix this post.
It's going to be some of Phase 5 and some of Phase 4, but you won't know which ones. So it won't be all of them. It's going to be just still five movies.
5 movies.
So
Okay.
let's start with where do you place the Marvels?
Respectfully, a movie which I don't hate, but it's not really for me. I'm gonna put that at number 5.
Okay. Next up, I have Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay. That is, I actually, you know what? I quite like Love and Thunder. I know people really shit on that one, but I feel confident enough to put that at number 4.
Okay. My next one was
Oh no, what's he got?
actually, I'll save that for a second. Next up, I've got Wakanda Forever.
Oh, that is a movie. I see that came out in a really interesting time in my own life. But yeah, I feel like deeply connected to that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I've only ever seen it the one time because of that
We
reason.
do need to watch it again. Yeah,
Yeah,
been too long.
it's a really tough watch for me. I don't know. I kind of want to put it at number 1. Um, number 2. I'll put it at number
Okay.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So you got number 3 and number
literally,
1 left.
yeah, it could have
Okay,
gone
cool.
either way.
Then my next one for you is The Eternals.
Okay, number 3. I actually
Okay.
quite like Eternals.
Well, the last one I had was Secret Invasion.
Oh.
I was gonna say it earlier and I thought, nah, I'm gonna fucking roll it.
I guess that's number 1.
The most forgettable
Yeah,
Marvel project ever, I think.
yeah. I like Squalios.
Man, it was. We really binged all of that, and I couldn't tell you a thing that
Really
happened.
washed over me. Yeah, I was talking to someone about Secret Invasion today, actually, and I was like, "Yeah, what a show," in a bad way.
Just a show. It was definitely the show of 2025.
Yep.
The most show.
Yep. Okay, well that was fun.
Yeah.
And
All right.
is that all?
That's all. That's all we got.
Okay, well, if you have enjoyed this week's episode, please do rate us 5 stars on Spotify. Please like and subscribe if you had a good time. Please do contact us if you want to get if you want to get at us, then contact us at Instagram. We're at web_sputters. Leon is pen_isn't. And yeah, join us for next week's episode for Marvel's Phase 5, hopefully, unless anything else comes up.
We'll see.
We'll
If
see.
they
We'll see.
do a surprise drop of something, then
Yeah.
say goodbye to that topic. But I think we'll manage it this time.
Yeah. Also, I'm just gonna plug this in. I'm running a marathon next
Oh yeah.
month for WWF. So I'm gonna put the donation link in the description slash in the YouTube like part. So if you're feeling generous and you wanna donate for charity, please do. I'll be very grateful. So yeah, thanks you all for listening, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.